Okay, boom. Section 10, episode 560, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It's the home of your 41 and 44 fourth place Boston Red Sox, brewed by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Produced by Jake Yazzie.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's another series loss. Fuck. It was another series loss. This time to the Toronto Blue Jays. Much to discuss. Many topics. Yeah, there's so much that we could talk about. I mean,
when I go to Stop and Shop, I can.
Jesus Christ, man.
I actually support it.
Yeah. No, we're gonna give people their money's worth tonight. Yeah, people want the Sox talk. They're gonna fucking get it, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know, we had Jaron Duran in studio for, if you're like, wait, how is this 560? You know, wasn't it supposed to be 559? That's because 559 was a surprise podcast with Jaron Duran in studio. We did it on Thursday, came out on Friday. Or like it was like the wee hours of the morning. Technically it was Friday, but it was.
Shout out to Jake, by the way.
Shout out to fucking Jake, dude. Yeah, Jake fucking shout him out, dude.
I'm proud of you, Jake.
Shout him out. A little round of applause for Jake, man. Yeah, that was a hell of an effort. I mean, it was a long day, long night for Jake. Also, Mikey Emond, sitting in on it and collaborating to be like, is there anything? How does it look? Behind the camera on the ones and twos.
Crushed
the feedback was great. Yeah, the feedback was great.
Dare I say, was that the best feedback we've gotten for any interview ever? It's in the running. I mean, that was almost unanimous.
What would even rivalry? What would rival it?
The JD one back in 2018 was up there right before the playoffs. But
I think it was yes, but I think people were more just excited that we were in the dugout for the first time. I don't even think it had anything to do with. Or it wasn't. He was
really
good.
He was good.
Yeah,
he was good.
A vibe setter for the playoff run too.
Yeah.
It was.
Then he hit a big
exact
the next
opposite.
night.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what would be the biggest interview that we've done.
It's going to be the most viewed in the next couple days, right? It's right on pace to.
Probably. I don't know, but either way, no, he was great. I knew that it would take him a second to warm up and get comfortable and yada yada. But he was great.
He did the 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 real fast. We were basically all right, we got to get this going. And he's just like, I want to fucking win so fucking bad. I'm like, oh, okay, we're here. We have arrived at the interview.
I think he probably didn't know what to expect at first. What kind of questions are these going to be? I think
he thought it was going to be more like beefish than it was. We got real chill real fast.
Yeah, so I mean, for anyone that doesn't understand the context, that was aware of the beef between him and I wasn't even going to get into it. He was the one that told half the story, I guess, in the podcast. It was. So the people that were chirping me were being like, so you're fucking mad at him because he won't come on your podcast or because he doesn't give you the time of day. Those people don't understand the relationship between me and Jaron. There are guys on the team that I'm super friendly with. Jaron is a friend, an actual friend. To without giving too many details. Him and I have conversations about things that I don't even tell my family about. There's subject matter from my personal life that I would say my therapist, Coley, and Jaron Duran are the only three people on planet Earth that I've talked about these things with. So that's why yes, he made it a point to say yes, he unfollowed us, and that was the crux of it. The other thing that didn't get mentioned was again, we're not rehashing old things. Him and I talked. We're fine. We screamed at each other. We both apologized. We both admitted fault, and then it was fine. But there was someone that wanted him to sign a Section 10 jersey, and he had made a comment, and the comment got back to me. So for the people that were like, "Oh, that's so petty of Jared that he got mad over an unfollow," no, there was more to it, and it's none of your business because him and I talked it out. And it's water under the bridge now. But it was actually his idea to do the pod. After we screamed at each other and apologized, he was like, He was like, well, when's the next off day? And I was like, I don't know. Isn't it every Thursday? And he's like, all right, I'll be there. And I was like, where's there? And he's like, your house? Don't you guys do the podcast at your house? I was like, yeah. So that's how it happened. It was not like I asked him to do the podcast and he said no. So I felt slight. Like, no, there was nothing. It wasn't like an ego thing. It was literally like he was being an asshole. And so then I was an asshole back and we were both assholes. And then we both apologized for being assholes after we yelled at each other about it. That was it. But I think the people that were up in arms about the public part of it certainly did not understand the personal relationship between us. Like it's not just like a player on the team. So to give it further context, and I won't name names, at least as far as I know, there are 2 players on the team right now that used to follow me and don't anymore. And you would never know who they are because I don't give a fuck. Like if I don't know you like that, like it's whatever. It's your personal preference. Like if you know the show isn't your thing, then it's not your thing. I don't care. Like it doesn't hurt me. I just move on with my life. And the reason why you can't tell who those players are is because I still cover them the same. I still talk about them the same. Like it doesn't matter to me. With Jaron, it was different. I'm like, you know, again, go back to the same point. There's 3 people on earth that Coley, therapist, Jaron Duran, conversations that are just only held between those people. Not T. No, not T.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying.
Whoa.
I would love to hear. I would listen. You know I would.
Absolutely not. No.
It's because I'm young. I give great advice. I am great when people are sensitive and going through things.
You're like my dumb son. Like I just like I love you. I love you. But there's nothing that you can tell me of value. There's nothing I can learn from you.
Nothing.
There's no guidance that I would ever be like, yup, I'm doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love you.
Yeah, we're in agreement.
That makes sense when you say it like that.
I love you. I value you as a person. I want you in my life forever. I would take a bullet for you. I would die for you, T.
But you just wouldn't tell me how
I'm
you're
not going to
feeling.
tell you a secret. Yeah.
But I would never take a word of advice from you, ever.
I mean, T, to be fair, Jared just found out about your black mom like 5 minutes ago. That's
That is true. That is true.
Crazy secret to keep.
This was a personal thing. This was a personal conversation, okay? Listen, my mom was a tanning addict when she owned a tanning salon, and there were times in my life
in your family, huh, T?
Hey, there were times in my life where my mom was very dark. She's 100% Lebanese, and people would come up and be scared I was kidnapped or being stolen or trafficked.
I can see that. I can see that.
My mom's an amazing woman. Shout out to her.
No, I love your mom, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
T,
Black Queen.
like there's just there's just conversations that are reserved for certain people. And you know, it's not to say that I wouldn't have any type of personal conversation with you, just not these ones. You know, we're just in 2 different places in life. That's all. It's an experience thing.
You've already hurt me. Please move on.
I said I would die for you.
Yeah, that's pretty good, T.
Yeah, like if
That's
we were on the
fine.
Titanic and there was one spot left in the lifeboat, I would miss you.
Would you let me hold on to the side to give me a shot? Like,
You know what T would do? There'd be one lifeboat left. You'd be like, "Here's your spot, my friend." He would slip on the lifeboat, nail his head on like the side of the boat, and drown. I think that's what would happen.
Rip the engine off, trying to keep his composure.
Taking down children and women with him.
Yeah,
They're all drowning too.
I love you, T. I do.
yeah,
I hope
You're
you
the
know.
best, T.
I hope you know I mean that. I do. I truly do.
I do. I believe.
Yeah. You better believe in my picks on the Underdog Fantasy app as well. Just hit another one today. I know Dallas is probably not going to acknowledge that tomorrow morning on Baseball is Dead. He never does, but another pick 'em, another win on a Sunday, by the way. So I don't know if you people at home realize how difficult that is, because it's like, hey, there's an entire slate of games today, but you can only pick from the ones that are 4 o'clock and on. I think there was like 4 or 5 fucking games. And I was like, all right, you want a winner with like the smallest pool possible? Here you go. Puts it up. Bang. Underdog Fantasy app. Download it today. It is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's Jared to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. But yeah, to your point, Steve, I can't recall an interview that got more positive feedback. There's definitely been interviews where we've gotten like a lot of feedback, but this one was overwhelmingly positive.
And just keeping it real here on the 10. Jaren's obviously had a tough stretch here over the last month. I think in June he's hitting like 200 or something. He gets the triple in the finale. Great to see Tyler's nipples. But it's been a really tough stretch. So in all honesty, knowing our audience like I do, just being on the socials a lot, I thought there'd be more dickheads of like, oh, he's got time to do this, but he like can't get any hits, which doesn't make any sense. But then a lot of people will say stuff like that. Yeah. Instead, it was a ton of support because we finally, I don't want to say finally because other players have opened up a little bit, but he opened up to a level that we just don't get on this show. Like normally we'll do some goofy stuff, talk about some big plays, big moments in your career, and that's always kind of good enough. But he kind of opened the door for it to be the interview that it was. Obviously, we mixed in some jokes as we tend to do, a couple of goofy doos in there. That's always great. Yeah, but I just think it was. That kind of provided everything that I would want from a player interview, and I'm thankful we got it because Lord knows it's been 4 years trying to get that, so I'm glad that it actually happened.
Yeah. And to do an hour where we're asking questions not only on his struggles, but drama going on with the team, his future, what could happen with that, and there wasn't a single question he pushed back against or was like, I'm uncomfortable. No, he gave you a genuine answer every single time, even on the stuff that could have been awkward because he's heard, us talking about trading him or whatever, joked about it, laughed about it, didn't make it personal, did not go after anyone, did not try to get a point across in a mean way. It just felt like a normal conversation that reminds you of like, all these guys, they're just people. They're trying to do their job. They're trying to survive. They're trying to go each day. And like, I think there's certain people, I'm guilty of it at times. I think we all are, where you forget that a little bit when you're in the process of 162 and ups and downs. You're pissed at the team. Like, it was just very human of him across the board. And I think that's anything, anybody could connect with.
And hell, you guys had your anime moment too. That was sick.
But it felt genuine though, like where I was like, oh no, like he truthfully is happy to connect with someone else who has a similar passion. Like it didn't feel like, oh, I'm just doing this so we have like something to talk about or connect on or laugh at.
Yeah, he offered it up unsolicited. I just said, what are you watching? And he said, I don't want to get killed for this anime. And we just
super solicited.
But he did it when he walked in. Like
you were like, what do you do at home? Like,
no one even mentioned this. It's like, if you don't tell me, I'll kill you. It's like,
I didn't lead him to anime.
Yeah, to anything like anime.
No doubt.
True.
Yeah.
He could have picked anything and he picked T's favorite thing. That was a special moment for you guys.
Yeah.
Which he even made an effort off camera. It's like, who the fuck am I? Like, you didn't even have to acknowledge me and you like tried to form a connection.
Tyler Milliken of 98.5, the fucking sports hub of Zolak and Bertrand fame.
Thank you. And the baseball hour.
I do wonder
today
with
Fridays,
Joe Murray.
Matt McCarthy, 6 to 7.
We got some reaction on this specific part. Jerry, I think you had asked it and I probably did a follow-up or something, but it does concern me to great measures that he goes home and is just like in his own thoughts a ton. Mm-hmm. Like the way that he had phrased it, it wasn't just like, I'm hard on myself. From what we saw in the documentary, from conversations you've had with him, I've had with him, like this is a real thing that I very much hope he can get a hold of because it's serious. And you could feel it in the interview too. He's like, no, I just like go home and I just get so upset at myself and I have like no one to bounce anything off of. It wasn't like a feel bad for me. It was just him being super honest about a really tough situation. And I hope there's a way for him to get a hold of that and to fix that because it's genuinely concerning.
Yeah. I mean, part of it though, like when he was like, yeah, like I go back to my place after the game. Like I don't have a wife. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids. That's like, back in the day when like Ricky Martin would have a concert be like, ladies, let me hear you. Like him just saying like, I don't have a wife. I have no one to go home to and do snuggies with.
Oh, you think he was doing that thing? Okay.
I felt like he was like, I want a friend. Like I just want people.
He has friends. He has friends. He needs a down ass bitch that's gonna be like that's gonna hold him down. He needs a woman that's gonna be like, I got you. Like
so
when you're
Ricky Martin,
grind on me.
What's wrong with Ricky Martin? He was a sex symbol in the 90s.
He was a symbol for it. I don't know if he was reciprocating.
You don't have to reciprocate as long as
Right.
the ladies like you. It doesn't matter what you like. I guess.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
There's just like a billion examples you could have used. I found that one to be strange.
Yeah, that was an
Who is
interesting
the Jake? Who is the biggest sex symbol of the '90s?
We're asking Jake.
I mean, I was born in '97, so I feel like I should be in the mix.
Yeah,
Jake, you were 2 in '99. Who was a sex symbol? Like, who do you got? Like, I'm sure you knew.
T, you got someone?
Oh no, T.
I was gonna say Magic Johnson, but I'm not sure when he
What
contracted
the
the
fuck
virus.
are you talking
that
about?
was the 80s.
Super.
He wasn't a
80s. Way
sex
after.
symbol. He was just like a sex.
Having a bunch of sex.
Yeah, he was like
Well, you
he,
don't get to have
he-
sex unless you're a sex symbol.
it was a sexual
Not
topic of discussion, but no one was like
He was a sexual deviant.
Yeah,
Deviant's the right word. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He was like
who
what
el-
Jared is to the Red Sox, he was to sex. He was a sex super fan. Big
Yeah,
time.
yeah, he loved it. All right, let's see. Male sex symbols of the 90s.
Prince and MJ were still cooking.
Prince is a good one. Prince
JT's
is a
up
good-
there.
Oh, fucking Stamos.
Oh,
big
good
time.
pick.
Big
Yeah,
time.
Stamos is a
Clooney,
big time pick.
Clooney. I
Brett
mean, Leo.
Clooney.
We talk
Definitely
about,
Clooney.
we
Brad Pitt.
talk about
yeah.
Titanic every fucking
Tit-
episode.
Leo,
Will
Brad
Smith.
Pitt. No,
Yeah, Brad
dude.
Pitt.
Leave it to
No.
the people of the 90s.
Will Smith was
Uh,
hot in the 90s.
No, he
I don't know that
wasn't.
you
He was the
this is why
funny
Jared
guy.
doesn't talk
He-
to you.
Yeah, he was the funny guy. No one was like, "Oh my god, he's so sexy." They were like,
Yeah,
"He's really
Johnny
funny."
Will
Depp.
Smith.
Johnny Depp's got to be in there.
Johnny Depp was
Depp
probably the
was-
2000s though.
Yeah, he
90s,
started in the
little thousands.
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started in the 80s. He was
Pierce
just-
Brosnan, you can put him in there.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, he was Bond at the time.
Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that 90s? That
See?
feels like 2000s to me.
Fabio.
But that had to have been early in the 90s. Had to have been. I know you're Googling it now.
I think you know, for if I'm gonna rack my brain for the perfect 90s sex symbol analogy, I think Stamos is probably the play. Because he's hot even now. Like he's still hot.
Oh, big
he never cooled down. Like his
I mean,
career
Clooney's
did,
still-
but not his looks.
Clooney's still sucking and fucking from what the
Yeah.
headlines are telling me.
Dude, Clooney bagged Stacy Keibler. Did they get married? I know they're not still together, but I
I
want to
was
say
going to say, the
together.
last I saw it was he and a Bella Danger, and I just tipped my cap.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
What?
Damn.
I'm going to double check.
No
now,
way. Let's see. Stacy Keibler. Did they get married? They dated for 2 years. Their relationship ended because Keibler wanted to focus on starting a family while Clooney did not. What a G.
Sounds about right.
but
Yeah.
George Clooney covered a Bella Danger's face in happy tears.
I don't know where
I don't know
that
what
was
else
going.
that's
No. Oh, shit.
That's calm if my forgetting Sarah Marshall
Oh.
lore is correct.
Got it.
All right.
All right.
So he came
Red
on her
Sox
face.
lose 9-0.
When I go to stop and
Okay.
All right. What about Derek Jeter?
Yeah.
Does he qualify?
I mean,
Yeah,
definitely.
Jeets is not a bad pick,
For sure.
I guess.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah.
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 Dennis Rodman.
No,
Yeah, to a
he was a
certain clientele.
deviant. He was a deviant.
He was, but
Who's the guy from 2.5 Men?
Charlie Sheen.
Him.
No, he was a deviant.
Not a sex symbol. That's
Yeah,
no.
it doesn't really play with what I'd like. He was definitely fucking.
Yeah. Does he have AIDS too?
Yep.
He
Does
does? Or I
I
thought he had
think he-
hepatitis.
He has
He
tiger
had
blood.
something.
I think he's got the thing before. the
Jake,
AIDS.
does Charlie Sheen have AIDS or no?
I can't speak on it. I want to speak ill on him with no info.
All right. All right.
That's
HIV positive.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's got the HIV.
He's
Red
cooking.
Sox lose 9-0.
Mhm.
Another lightning rod topic that came from Friday was, and I blame Steve for this. So
Oh, no.
there was a clip that went out of me talking to Craig Breslow. It was, how long would you say it was, Steve? Like an hour almost?
The combo, at
Yeah.
least 25 minutes. I'm dead serious.
We're talking 45 to an hour. I don't. Your
Jake-
perception of
Jake,
time is way off.
There's no
Jake?
way it was an hour, Jake.
40 plus for sure.
Yeah, I got it marked at about 28.
Definitely longer than that.
What the hell did you guys talk about?
I was going to ask the same thing. It was at the top of my notes. What do you guys got?
Talked a lot. But Steve tweets this 5-second clip where I'm like, I still think we can make the playoffs. So then everyone in the replies is like, this fucking kiss ass. Like, you'll say anything on the podcast, but you won't say anything to his face. You're over here buttering up Craig Breslow after all the shit you talked. Again, like, this is obviously a private, off the record conversation. I can tell you some of what, like, I said, at least. And by the way, this is the first time
you'd do a great job of saying what you both said because you got the voice down. So if you did like both characters here, I feel like it would be pretty great for the show.
I could do that. But we've never met before, as I've said on prior shows. We've never met, never spoken, never emailed, nothing. There's never been any interaction ever. So which by the way, before we get into the Breslow thing, when I got to Fenway, because I think that's the first time we had field passes all year. I mean, like, I've had them to like get in and maneuver around, but I haven't been to BP yet this year. So it was cool because I didn't know what the reaction was going to be. You know, like the vibes were like, I didn't know how the vibes are going to be with the team playing the way that they're playing and us not having been around. I didn't know if people are going to be like, oh, now they fucking show up, whatever. Not that we're like walking in at a good time either. They just
show up when they lose 6 in a row. These
yeah, like
tickets.
And we did have that going for us where we showed up on a current 6-game losing streak. But yeah, it was a lot of just like, where you been? Like, genuine, like, you know, want you guys around more. All right, cool. Like that was good to hear. Got to catch up with a bunch of guys. Got to meet guys in person for the first time, which was cool. Got to meet the captain, Carlos Narvaez.
He's the man.
That was the first time that I met Willier in person, and he pronounces it Wilger.
There you go.
Go back to the Name Redacted podcast where I battled that the entire time, and I went back and listened to the broadcast and said that was the way it was being pronounced.
Yeah,
Got killed for that.
I know, but like I said, you know, nice to meet you. He said, Wilger, nice to meet you. But I think it is, I don't know, like Will Fleming described it as like, it's how he pronounces it, but like if you're a gringo and you say Willier, then it's still correct. I don't know. Either way, he was super nice. But yeah, the conversation with Craig, the clip that went out was a 5-second clip of let's call it a 40-minute conversation, and he was very aware of everything that I've said, so there was no need to be like, there was no need to feed him takes or let him know how I feel about certain things because he was already well aware. I did reiterate certain things for sure. We did have a conversation about, you know, being robotic and just talking normal. And I will say the main takeaway from the conversation was it's in there. And that's what I said. I said, it is so refreshing to hear you talk normal and hear you talk like a regular fucking guy. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know that was in there. So it's good to know that exists. I will say that I kind of ended it with let's, you know, continue the dialogue. Let's build a relationship so that we can kind of get to know each other. Like, let's not have the next time that we speak be on the podcast. I think he's down to come on and answer the hard questions. And I even said, like, I'll bring a buzzer. So every time that you sound like a robot, we'll hit the buzzer so that you like he was very
zap him.
He was very self-aware. He did have a sense of humor about how we've approached the topic. He understands the criticisms. So yeah, like I think that, you know, there is certainly a building block here for us to have a conversation with him about the team, candidly, about the tough questions, about where this thing's going. So that part of it, yeah, like I think it was encouraging. So I'm intrigued by it, and I don't want to like proceed with it as like you know, we're just using you. Like, now that we've met, come on the pod. Like, I don't want to do that. I think it would be worthwhile for the listeners too. Kind of how like usually 9 times out of 10, if we have someone on this podcast, it's someone that I or all of us have a personal relationship with, so that it's not question, answer, and like the chemistry's off. Like I want to be able to have the option to fuck with you and make a joke, or like we called Jaron a little bitch in the interview. No one else, there's not a media outlet on earth that can do that interview in the way that it was done. That's why he was comfortable and presented himself in a way that he's not done in media. So that's why, if there is an opportunity, not just with Breslow, but with anyone that's appropriate for this show, Baseball is Dead, I like to have the personal relationship first. So it was a good introduction. I think we're gonna, I said, like, let's keep in touch and hopefully build a relationship. But yeah, that was the takeaway, is that he is self-aware. He is aware of the cameos where I'm doing skits making fun of him and mocking hin voice.
Does that make you feel awkward?
No. I said, I was like, I'm just letting you know I'm not going to stop doing that because it's making me money. And I was like, I have kids to feed. So I was like, it's good that we've opened the door and we've spoken now, but I'm not going to stop the cameos because I got kids to feed. And he was like, get that paper, brother. So, yeah, I would say it was a productive conversation, and we'll see where it goes. It's like I never want to divulge unless it's a conversation where it doesn't matter what the subject matter is. But there was we talked about a number of topics, and there was
28-minute convo. There's a lot to talk about in that.
I think it was like, what'd you say, Jake? Like over 40 minutes?
40 plus. Yep.
Yeah. 40 plus minutes. There was a number of topics discussed, topics that we can rehash. That's why, more so than anything, I think it's important that if I'm going to share the subject matter of the conversation, let's do it on the podcast. Let's do it in an interview with him here. Which I think everything that we did discuss, it's fair game for an interview. I'm not just going to like relay it secondhand. But yeah, and it wasn't just ass kissing. Like there was pushback on certain views and opinions and whatever. That's why I wish fucking Steve, I wish that like the clip that went out, I wish it wasn't me being like, I still think we can make the playoffs. And anyone that saw that and said, "Oh, you're just kissing his ass." I said that on the last episode.
On a joke clip? What are you talking about? How many people seriously saw that clip and was like, "What the fuck?" You smacked my phone over. You're like, "We're making the playoffs." I mean, that was a goofy clip. What are we talking about?
I'm talking about the clip of me talking to Breslow on the field.
Oh, you said make the playoffs. You were just talking about the make the playoffs thing.
Yeah, that's it. I said that on the show.
He's saying he said that to Craig, and that was what people were hearing.
Yes,
because you could somewhat make it out what he was saying.
I didn't know. I couldn't make out a damn thing that was being said.
Yeah.
I more just.
I know you didn't do it. I know you didn't do it on purpose. I know.
Okay, now I'm learning that now. Okay.
Yeah. So in the clip, you can hear me be like, I still believe we can make the playoffs, and like that's the only thing that you can hear. So everyone's like, oh, you're kissing his ass to his face. I don't know how many. I don't know how many fucking people. And this is my 20th year doing this. How many fucking people do I have to like have a strong take about or make fun of that I do it to their face or I acknowledge it to their face? There's not the only guy that I haven't yet had that exchange with or that interaction with is Garrett Cole, because he won't look.
That's not going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And the people that like Yankee fans would be like, well, you won't go say it to it. Like, what do you want me to do? Tap on his shoulder and be like, hey, I'm the fucking guy that talks shit about you. Like, if he were to confront me about it, I would stand on business about it and be like, yeah, I genuinely don't like you. And I like making fun of you. It's good engagement. But yeah, that's the only one that hasn't taken place. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I said that I still think that they can make the playoffs in the last episode. And then I just followed that up. Like, it wasn't like a flip flop. But
no.
Anyways,
interesting. People just want the full negative. They want the full negative thing. They're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. You can have multiple opinions as the season goes on. It's 162 games. We do this after every series. You're going to change your opinion sometimes. That's fine. If anything, and this is piggybacking off of what you said, Jared, I was just happy to see a lot of people, and I was happy they were happy to see us because I didn't fully know what the reaction was going to be since we hadn't been down on the field all season.
Who'd you talk to?
I talked to Narvaez for the first time, which was really cool. And he did the fist bump and the ass tap. So I feel like he knows what we do. Like he sees.
He dabbed me up. He went like I went for the handshake because we had never met. I was like, hey, I'm Jared. And then he went for the handshake. And then he recognized and he was like, oh, and then he went for the dap up. Like it took him a second. Go ahead, continue.
He's the man. He's exactly what you expect him to be. And then even talking to Brenly, he's like, yeah, Narvaez is the absolute guy. Like he's got a great relationship with the starters. He puts so much time into this. And he's just kind of effortless out there, but it's not like he's just showing up and playing. He does his homework and puts a lot of time into it. Even just the reporters too that we talked to, some of the people we've grown relationships with. They were genuine conversations, and it was just nice to get back in the swing of things with that. But it's the same tone in that convo. You know who? Like Bradfo, friggin' Catillo, my guy downtown, Ian Brown. Spear was down there.
Ian Brown.
Ian Brown's the man. I love Ian Brown. But still, it's always the same tone. And these conversations is like, here we are again. Like everyone has to say the same thing every time. And I don't even blame them, where it's like you feel like you're replaying the same season over and over again. Even though the ingredients are different in each of these years, the results are kind of the same, unfortunately.
Yeah. I did catch up with Catillo. That was nice. That was nice to get to talk to him.
His shirts are a little too tight.
I want to race him.
Okay.
I'm sending the challenge out. I'm very serious about this. My back is in much better shape these days. I've gotten a quarter zone shot. I'm ready to compete, and I'm ready to beat his ass. Chris, this is a challenge. Hit me up. Let's figure it out.
Where did this come from? Do you have any issue with Catillo? What's up?
He's been just cooking the body recently. He doesn't like the pictures of the nips on the timeline, so I'm ready to put the nips on him. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Oh.
And I want him running shirtless as well.
Beat him and then just rub your nips on him.
I was going to say, like, if you're putting his nips on him, wouldn't that mean that he's in front of you in the race?
No. It'll be after the race.
Okay.
I'll be pinning him down.
Ooh. Yeah,
I love Chris, too.
Little hookup. All right.
Yeah. I need to dominate him.
Okay.
Carry on.
Thank you.
I need to pin him down and just dominate him.
It was also very funny when we got to the field, seeing some people walk up and show us their phones, and they had either already completed or were about to finish listening to the Duran interview, which was cool. A lot of people were there and had listened.
Those people I'm talking about that we talked to, even some of our Nesson folks, they'd like all listen to that interview. That interview dropped, by the way. Obviously, we already shouted out Jake, but another shout out to Jake. Dropped at like whatever, Jake, 3 a.m. But I'm saying that thing dropped at 3 a.m. that day, and most people had already heard the entire thing and had like thoughts and takes on it. So that shows the impact that it had.
Yeah. I wish that game was better. It wasn't.
Awful.
Yeah, that was not a fun game to be at.
They heard you say they were making the playoffs and just were like, you know what, we're not going to show up tonight. And I think we're going to take the night off.
If anyone is like rolling their eyes at me saying I'll think that they make the playoff, it's more of an indictment of the rest of the league. Like this team fucking sucks, but the rest of the league may be worse. So it's not that I see some great potential that no one else is seeing with this Red Sox team. It's more just no one wants to run away with the playoff spots. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that. I think that, and we're going to get to it because there is some positive to take away from this series, and there's one name in particular that I want to shout out. We're going to have a difficult conversation about Walker Buehler, but in the process of doing that,
not that difficult.
It's not that difficult, and he acknowledges that as well. You kind of have to like, how do you not love what you're seeing from Lucas Giolito right now? Like he's on a great run. He's on a great run right now.
It makes his club option for next year because he's not going to probably get to 140 innings. I know it's negative to talk about trading him, but that has real value. If people think he can be anything to what he's been the last 4 starts and you have it for $14 million next year, yes, that has value to you as well, but teams are going to come calling and being like, we'll take him off your hands and you might be able to get a pretty decent return for it. Now, next year's rotation has plenty of question marks within itself, but that's the balancing act they're going to have to play. Because he'd even have I'd say the last 2 starts haven't been his best stuff. Like he hasn't got up to 96 in those starts like the 2 previous, and he's still finding a way to survive and go deep.
Well, I'm trying to go deep into some blue moons, T.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, because Blue Moon was born in a ballpark at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado, so it's no wonder why you crave it. Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience perfect year-round. And for the moments that you want a lighter option of your favorite beer, reach for Blue Moon Light. It's a refreshing wheat beer brewed with real tangerine peel for a lighter, exceptional taste at only 95 calories. Jake, how many Blue Moons did we put down on Friday night?
Friday night, tough game. I had to get into 7 or 8. Saturday was a little better, but always a good night with some Blue Moon Lights.
Yeah, Jake ran it back on Saturday too. Yeah, we went me, Connor, Jake, and Mikey Emond had some pretty sick seats down by the Red Sox dugout on Friday night to watch the Red Sox get the shit beat out of them. But man, was it a better experience because we had some Blue Moon Lights. Inspired by the beer you already love and available year-round, a wheat beer from Blue Moon with exceptional taste and only 95 calories. Brightly brewed with real tangerine peel, tastes light and refreshing. Nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to the great taste of a Blue Moon Light. Blue Moon made brighter. Get Blue Moon Light delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared for delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Suck one.
Yeah, being at the game on Friday night, very cool. It's always fun to just be at Fenway, even when the Red Sox suck a big fat fucking, penis, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Bold.
You know what I mean? It was a tough game to be at. There was no drama, no suspense. There was no scoring. There was no exciting moment. I don't think for a second my heart rate peaked.
The thing you want your favorite team to do is like get hits and score runs, right? And then like not give up a lot of runs. They didn't check any of those boxes. They gave up 9. They had 4 hits. Nobody on the team touched third base. How often were you touching third base, Jared, when you were in high school?
Not a lot. I don't think I had a hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I just think it was it was maybe the most boring game I've ever been to. I was talking to Jake and Mikey about that, and I think they had the same comment with you, and you said no, but I can't remember a game I've been to at Fenway Park where less happened that was productive for the Red Sox.
Ooh.
I thought someone here was at the Mike Musina almost no-hitter.
I was.
Jerry. Okay.
I was at the Mike Musina almost perfect
Definitely
game.
less happened
But
that game.
But that's like entertainment, right? You almost see a perfect game, and then Carl Everett just flicks a single
And
and
it's
goes.
Red Sox
That's-
Yankees. And it's Red
That's
Sox
a lot
Yankees.
of after the fact. Like you don't realize that until you're like 6, 7 deep. Like those first 5, you're like, this is miserable.
Right, but
I
those
was at
last 3 innings, that's something.
It was also, you go back to the Angels game right before that. It was 18 innings where you essentially did nothing on your own to score runs. Like the first game against the Angels, that series finale, they gifted you those 2 runs in the first with a bad call and bad defense. Like you had not done anything yourself to start a real rally.
I was
Not
at
even
the
close.
Sidney Sweeney game.
Oof,
yeah.
that was a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very tough to be at. The Raimel Tapia inside the park grand slam. Yeah, that was
But there's
a tough
something
one.
about like I think boring is the word I'm zoning in on because like this wasn't even a 9-0 game. Somehow Bello got a quality start. That's the most stunning quality start I think I've seen in my entire life. Gives up a run in each first of the first 3 innings and still goes 6 with 3 earned. But nothing really. Even the Blue Jays, it was kind of boring. Like they put up some runs towards the end, but that was essentially like a 3-0 game, 4-0 game for most of it, and
A 9-0
basically next to nothing
burger.
happened. Yeah, that was a 9-0 burger, a 9-0 burger. Basically.
Yeah.
And boring ass night, especially in the City Connects. Hate to see it in the new City Connects.
Oh, I got a take.
Jerry.
I've been workshopping this take. I think
I'm
out
a
of
little worried
everyone, I
about this.
probably want to know, I guess, what Coley thinks the most here. But
Sounds like you.
Ooh.
you know what? I deserve that.
You do.
I'm going to, you know what? After we're done with the podcast, I'm going to call you. We're going to talk.
Don't call me. Don't.
All right.
It's a
Then
pity call.
that's not a pity call.
It is a pity call.
This reminds me of my Brett Anderson story. Did I already tell this story?
I don't
Brett
think so.
Anderson, longtime Oakland A's legend. He was in Boston when he reached his 10 years service time. And he obviously didn't know anyone else in Boston. So he called me and was like, I want to celebrate my 10 years service time. Let's go get a beer. And at the time I was seeing a girl in Boston. And so I was home for the weekend. I was living in Manhattan and like I was home to see her. I couldn't just leave her and go get a beer with Brett Anderson. And because I turned down that, never spoke to me again. And
I respect it.
That's what I'm deciding I'm going to do with UT. I said I wanted to call you and you said no. So now I'm never going to call you again.
I'm never going to speak to you ever again. On this show, if you say something, I'm not acknowledging it. That's how this is going to go.
Yep. That's what it reminded me of. So
You're doubling down with your meanness.
I gave you the opportunity. Steve?
To you, Jerry, what was the thing you were going to ask?
It wasn't. No, I was not. It's not a question. It's a take.
Bless you.
Directed at me.
Thank you.
Well, I want everyone's opinion on it, but I think Coley will probably have the most honest reaction to
We're going to get to this at some point. We might want to bookmark this.
Are you ready for this take?
All right, here we go.
Because it is controversial. It's a controversial take. Daddy. It's a controversial take. And it's a take that if someone else had it and I heard them say it, I'd be like, ooh, I don't know about that. I'd be like, oh, this one isn't like it's almost like if I heard someone else have this take, I would be like, I think I agree, but I feel dirty agreeing with it. I feel like a dirty little fucking,
penis. Yeah.
I like it's how I feel. This take is how I feel, but if it came from someone else, I would feel like a nasty little pig slut.
Is this about to be a negative City Connect take right now?
I know what the take is.
No,
what is it?
I don't
What
like
is it?
that-
What
where
is
this
it? What
going
is
at
it?
all.
What is
It's
it?
not
What is
about
it?
the greens. It's about the yellows.
Ooh, okay, I might like this.
The greens are so clean and almost perfect that it makes me almost not like the yellows anymore.
I love that. I've never liked the yellows. Come on board. We got space. There's plenty of room on this boat. It's fully empty. It's just me, I think.
It's so I don't know that it's not that I don't like the yellows anymore, but the greens definitely make me like the yellows less now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't even think that's that controversial. I still hate that they go back to back. Like we had 4 years. What is the 5th season of the yellows? It's okay to just let them sit on the shelf for a little bit. You can put them on the bench. That's fine. The greens should have more time to flourish. Then again, the yellows, they put up 15 in the yellows, man. They've been so good in the yellows.
They're what,
I know.
38 and 17 now wearing them? Like it's absolutely ridiculous.
I'd love to see the winning percentage in the yellows in the last 4 years versus everything else. It's got to be pretty crazy.
Well, and it's also having the yellows. What's the alternative? Can we get the navy back? And I feel like a lot of people are on the
It's
train.
the Reds, T.
No, but in general, figuring out a jersey, because we've had the Reds this year. They've just been on the road and it's been
I'm saying like on Saturdays, Reds I think would be sick.
Yes,
I don't think,
and then maybe flip, the roads back to a navy like we had before.
Yes.
I think that's what a lot of people are begging and kind of asking for, because I was never someone who loved the navies. I feel like I've seen so many people begging, saying, I miss them, I want them back, and I hate the Reds on the road.
The navies are like the most contentious conversation me and Jaron Duran had at Jared's house was over the Navy jerseys, which the players love. And I think I got Duran to a point where he was like, it's not as much the color. For whatever reason, that fabric and material is more comfortable to play in, which is completely fair. I would rather my guys be comfortable out there. If they were going to go back to like the Navy pullover V-necks from like the jersey of the summer, that's fine. The Navy button-ups that they've worn are a disgrace. They're a travesty. Like
no.
Those are the worst jerseys they've ever worn, like by far.
The jersey of
By
the summer
far.
is a BP jersey.
I understand, but they've had that jersey in
You're
baseball,
saying the
is
V-neck.
what I'm
If they just
saying.
bring that back. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
going
but I don't
real
think
in
they've
baseball.
ever worn those in games.
I'm not saying the Red Sox. I'm saying in
Just that
baseball,
style.
people have worn those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see a game jersey that's a V-neck or like a mesh. Why not?
It'd be unbelievable. But the Navy ones, I have one. It's the Mookie one, and I bought it after he got traded because it was the only one that was in my size that was still being sold. It's the only reason I have a Navy one. They're bad. The red ones are good. I don't think your take is that you like the yellow ones less. I think the original take that anyone from outside the city of Boston has always hated the yellows remains true.
Like, what's the yellow for?
Everyone instantly inside the city was like, we love that. Everyone from 1 foot out and beyond was like, these are fucking stupid. Why do we have these? And I think people are they feel safe again saying it.
So it's not that I didn't like the yellows when we had them. I thought that they were cool and they were different and it was outside the box. And I like that. I like when you kind of take a risk with a fashion statement, especially in baseball, when it's just like, you're home, you're white, you're on the road, you're gray. Like, I don't know. I think that's lame, especially when like the players weekend that one year was a 2019. They're like, you are white and you are black. It's like, well, that was stupid. That's also stupid. So I like that they took a risk with the yellows, but that being said, the green with the yellow feels more like home. Like, that's like, if we're going to go outside the box and not do like a red or a blue and we're going to go green, then that feels more Red Sox to me. And I get it. It's like, like the Boston Marathon. It's almost like maybe they did it backwards. I think if the first City Connect was Green Monster Green, we'd be like, fuck yeah. And then if they did the yellow after that to celebrate the marathon, they'd be like, oh, this is cool. This is different. But because of the order, it's like the green should have been first.
They did start with a different one. They started with the one that was a little outside the box, and now they have the one that was like so obvious and probably should have been the lead. Then again, I kind of think that's the case with a lot of City Connects. I think the second wave, for the most part, is a lot better than the first wave that they did. You have some findings, some learnings from what you started with, and then you probably land on a more normal jersey the second time around. I don't like Coley. It's obviously fine to have that opinion. I mean, jersey takes are you like what you like and you don't like what you don't like. The Navy ones, it's interesting because I feel like a lot of people didn't like them, but now that they're gone, I'm hearing a lot of people be like, I kind of miss those.
I only hear the players saying it.
I don't.
The players, I like all the players. The Nesson's been doing this all year, and this is what Duran we're talking about. Like, every single player kills the yellow one, which just goes back to my fucking theory. But they all want the blue one back. It has to be a comfort thing because it looks like shit on TV. Like, it genuinely looks bad. It's more bland than gray. I think the Red Sox gray with the touch of red. Like, when I think Manny, the first thing I think of is the gray road jersey. Like, those, the gray and blue numbers, those are worse than the Navy. So I retract my previous statement. When they did the road grays tough. With the Navy numbers,
those for long. Those
fucking sucked. That was like early Pedroia. They were rocking those, and that was an abomination.
That was
to the Lord
2009,
11.
Sounds right.
No,
Yeah,
very Jason Bay.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah.
Those
were clunky.
Completely flavorless. Right? Yeah, completely flavorless jerseys.
I feel like they had them for a couple seasons. 1 year. They had them for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah, they had them for like 3-4 years.
That
when
was
they brought back
so.
The red, I was so
2009
happy.
was when that fucking idiot Mike D had. He tried to change the Red Sox hat logo to the Sox from the B. That was their primary logo. Another great fucking idea, dude. But yeah, that was awful. It was all at the same time. I remember being at that announcement, and it was like they were trying to introduce, like, ta-da, a logo that already exists. They were like, all right, so the B, it's iconic for Boston. We all love Boston. Let's get rid of it. Sox. And everyone's just like, all right, that's the logo. We've had that. That's the same one. All right, yeah, same logo. All right, yeah, because I remember Coley.
I have a very strong logo take that I don't know if I've ever said out loud.
Oh shit! Uh-oh. What is it?
The Boston B is comfortably the best logo, like comfortably by a lot. Number 2, the Red Sox. The Sox, but inside the
Boston
circle where it says Boston Red Sox is like a 1B. It's like that close to me. It's that strong of a logo.
The
Well,
navy on the top, the red on the bottom.
Yep. It's like it's a vintage logo. I don't like the one that they like redid recently.
Made it all red.
Yeah. Like I have a tank
quick
top
on the
that's like
real quick on the
90s
Navies,
logo.
Jerry. Just real quick.
Mhm.
I just want to add this point, and then tell me I'm stupid for thinking this if you want to.
All right.
Okay.
But they won the World Series in the Navies in 2018, and that matters to me a little
That's
bit.
it. It's
That matters to me a little
100%.
bit.
It's
They could have
nostalgic
worn
to those people.
anything, and they would have won that
But
series.
it definitely like upped
That's
that
like-
jersey's cred, where it's like,
Like
okay,
a
yeah, they won it all in
Cleveland
that.
fan being like, the sleeved basketball jerseys are iconic because we beat the Warriors in them. Like, no, they're not. Those sucked, and they ruined the moment, kind
I
of.
didn't hate those either.
No,
I
those
think
were
we're just going to
awful.
disagree on all of
Wait,
these.
wait.
Adidas will never be near the NBA again because of the
No, of
sleeved
course not.
jersey
Of course not.
epidemic.
Am I an idiot? Do we not wear the Reds anymore?
On
They
the
wear them
road.
on the road on Fridays.
moved
It's
on
so
the road.
stupid.
But it used to be
Insanely-
Sunday day games at home.
They would vary.
Friday
I mean,
night
Corey
games.
It was
used
up
to
to the
let the
starting
pitcher.
pitcher back
the
then,
pitcher
yeah.
would say what he wanted, and now they don't do that anymore.
Eddie always picked red, right? Like, wasn't
Yep.
that his thing? Always wanted
Yeah.
to be in it.
Yeah, Friday Reds was a big thing for a little bit, but
Yeah, it was Friday home Reds, road Navy, which
Yeah.
made sense, but I just didn't like the Navies, so that's where I was out.
Yeah,
Road
I didn't
Reds is
love
so
the
stupid.
Navy.
I hate it, and no names on it. It just looks wrong.
Well, what I hate is that one City Connect says Boston and the other one says Red Sox. Like, it doesn't make any sense, especially if the green ones are going to be home Fridays. It doesn't make any sense that this is Red Sox at all.
Wait, what?
Shouldn't the City Connects say the city on them?
No,
Okay.
I mean, I think it makes sense because like the green one, it's like that one should say Red Sox because the scoreboard. Actually, no, the scoreboard says Boston.
Yeah, scoreboard says Boston, exactly.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
probably people's like biggest gripe with the jersey, which was a fair take.
Right,
just
I
made
knew
that
I wasn't the
connection
only
now.
one saying that.
Yeah.
That should say Boston.
But doesn't the Green Monster like it says Boston, but then isn't the road team their team name or is it? It's
I
the
thought
city.
it says like
No, the road- I
BLA
think
period
it's-
Orioles.
I
Or is
think
that in
it's
the
just the
standings?
city. I think it's just the city.
Tampa Bay is just TB.
On the Monster? No, it's
Baltimore's BALT.
Yeah, they just do abbreviations like the Blue Jays. It just said TOR on there.
that's fine.
I think people are just a little burnt out on the 2021 because like this is the 5th season of it, and I think it resembles a time like Alex Verdugo years that a lot of people. Yeah, you had the 21 playoff run,
Yeah.
but it's been abused since then, year
Kyle
after year. Every
Schwarber wore
time they
that
wanted
jersey.
a hot streak.
I
I feel like 2018, at least people are nostalgic to that because that's the last time you remember them winning something. Like the Navy will connect with that thought. I think the yellows kind of remind you of an era that we all want to move past.
But the players on the team who are the ones pushing this Navy propaganda have no connection to that.
I've seen it a lot on Twitter from fans too. I've seen a lot of people saying
Crazy.
they miss the Navies.
They hated it. It was like
I was never a
widely
big
agreed
Navy guy.
upon that people hated
I think it
them
was
when they
a
won.
vastly hated jersey, and I was in the
Correct.
minority. That minority's gotten a little bit larger since they've been gone, but yeah, I just the going from one City Connect to the next one feels weird. Like we can have whatever opinions we want on the jerseys, but the concept of the new one to the old one just doesn't feel right, and I'm kind of stunned they landed on that.
It feels like you started a new chapter, yet you still keep going back to an older chapter. Like I think everyone was ready to close the book on that previous one.
Then again, they keep winning in the yellows, so I don't know. I feel like I'm an idiot for complaining about it.
I also I don't hate the Blues, but if they never wore them again, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, you're probably that's the majority take there.
Yeah,
The Navies?
It's not like I'm like disgusted by them, but I would never like if they never wore the Navies, I wouldn't care one bit. Yeah, Red Sox.
My
Red
last
Sox win
memory
15-1.
of the Navies was Masa's walk-off last year. Or the game tying off Clay Holmes.
That was on
Yeah.
the road, brother.
Right.
Yeah, game tying.
Imagine if they
And then
called that a
Cedar
walk-off. That
Rafaela.
would have been nuts.
Should have.
Yeah. They just dumped the cooler on Yankee Stadium.
Not enough runs.
Was Rafaela's
and on
like
the road.
first pitch?
It was a tank. I just remember it was like,
It was.
holy
It felt
shit.
like they came back. It felt like the Aaron Boone one in 03. Like they came back from commercial and Rafaela just stroked one to the night sky.
Now it's
Masa's
talking
almost
jerseys. Yeah,
Mhm.
Masa's on. What's the rehab assignment? Is Tuesday?
He went right to
Correct.
Worcester. Went
They're
right
advertising
to
it,
Woo.
man. Like, friggin' Moss is
Like
going to be here.
they
Get down here.
They're
Gee,
gonna
they
sell a shit ton
advertised
of
it like a
tickets for that.
tornado was about to come to town. Like, I don't know what that. I love the Woo Sox and everyone
What
they got
was that
working there.
graphic?
That graphic made it
crazy.
seem like a fucking batten down the hatches. Yoshida's coming through.
What are you talking about?
No, Coley's totally right. They have like a street sign. It almost looks like it's going away in the dust and the wind.
Where?
I'm like,
It looks like an Amber Alert you get on your phone when some shit's about to go down.
Where?
On the Woo Sox Twitter
I
page.
texted it, and I texted it to the Scoop Shop.
And
Oh,
to your
that's-
point, like the Woo Sox do an incredible job on their socials. We know some of those folks. This ain't what's there's like a line where it's like, what was it, John Wall? He's like, I ain't never ever seen you act like this before. I've never seen them pull any of this. There's literally like a
No.
tornado in the graphic.
Right.
Like,
It looks like a
blowing him
Twisters
away.
promo. Like the Rehab alert with the I-90 both ways signs on it makes it seem like it's like a flashing sign. Like alerts. Please, like even the pilgrim hat makes it looks like a skull and crossbones if you just like are scrolling quickly. You're like, what the fuck happened to Yoshida? Is he missing?
You would
Yeah.
think Masa is going to Texas. Like, that's the next chapter of his life. We're never seeing him again.
I think he might be dead. There's a chance this is like the sign of,
Could've been.
we lost them in a tornado in Worcester. Don't ask us why that happened, but it did. It's crazy.
I mean, there's no way there's a single ticket left.
No.
I bought them all.
SRO, like you read about for this one.
I can't.
To
wait
be
for
fair,
this.
the way Cora was describing him and Rush Snyder as a platoon, it was like you were about to see the craziest thing baseball has ever seen. Like, you thought Rafael Devers was a good hitter. Wait till you see these two.
When would he be back then? When's the...
Pretty soon if he's going to
I was
Worcester.
going to say, going right to
Right.
Worcester? Like, this is going to be a quick rehab.
Well, they
He said
obviously
he hopes to
have
be back
him in
by
like
the
an
break.
underground bunker league where he's been playing baseball for the last
Oh.
3 months.
Yeah, we watched in spring training him hit 300.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people do forget that.
That
Like
was
the-
3.5 months ago.
He
I
hit a
don't-
home run the day that they put him on the fucking 185-day injured list.
Like, it wasn't
I don't-
far enough.
I don't want to snitch on my own team, but there definitely needs to be an investigation into how we
No.
like draft picks need to be taken. Like
I've never
No.
been more convinced they knew Devers was getting traded and they just told Yoshida to sit it out. Like, listen, at some point he's going to be gone. We're going to bring you back here and you'll be in the mix.
Jared, when we were there on Friday and Yoshida walks out of the dugout with the sickest shirt ever, by the way, Mikey documented it's a ripped Wally just flexing. And he goes out there, he's hitting seeds in batting practice, running the bases, throwing the ball, looking great, looking as healthy as ever. When he walked out, I always do this entire season. I keep forgetting we have Masataka Yoshida because of how much they've been hiding him. But then you realize, like, this guy's fine. This guy's perfectly fine. He's been ready
He's
to play
great.
for ages.
The entire
Well,
time he's been ready.
That's also my question. Like, why do we need to do the outfield thing? There's no way he's ever going to play the outfield still. Like, there's no way it makes sense.
I think that video, by the way, where he was like doing this is AI. I now think that's a made up video and it never happened. Because also, who like records? I know it's Yoshida, so it's a little different, but it just felt staged. We talked about it when it happened. I now feel like it's more staged than ever because this guy on Friday looked like he was going to go to the All-Star game with how he was warming up.
There was a deal worked out. He was going to travel. He was going to do his thing. The Red Sox were going to pay for all the expenses, and there was going to be a day where he had to come back to work. That day is hopefully in the next 2 weeks because it sounds like he's kind of on the same timeline as Bregman, essentially. It's like All-Star break.
Oh man, we're
That's
gonna
what
be
they
too
said.
good. We're gonna be too good of a team.
Yeah, I don't want to win the division.
Craig
Like, come on.
Breslow was just like, we're a month away from these guys coming back. Let's trade Raffy right now. This is a great pathway to that.
T,
Just
had
find a way to
mentioned
swim.
You had mentioned this pre-show, and I agree with you. I had heard this walking up to the old laptop here. That Breslow, I don't even want to call it availability, just visit to the booth for the series finale. I had my laptop out. I was ready to take notes. I'm like, here we go. I don't think I wrote anything down. It was words that were said, but what was the thing that was said that was different than anything we've already heard?
Nothing. Like, I saw people on Twitter like, oh, that was really refreshing. Yeah, he was maybe a little more personable. And credit, I thought the people who did the best job were Dave O'Brien and Will Middlebrooks. They
Good questions
asked
by OB, I gotta say.
hard questions, the questions we've all been asking, but it was essentially the same word salad. And no offense, Craig Breslow's telling me like, yeah, you know, a lot of teams want to wait until the trade deadline to get the maximum package. Yeah, do they? That sounds about right. Like, no offense, I don't want to hear that after I saw you trade Rafael Devers for a lesser package on June 15th, and the team's been drowning since then. Like, that really doesn't do it for me. And at the same time, this entire conversation, and he did a sit down or a talk with Rob Bradford about it, about not being able to make deals until closer to the deadline. I'm sorry, I have no room for that mistake. If you knew you were trading Devers and you knew Bregman and Yoshida were that far away, have a plan, have a path. People can make trades before the deadline. Dave Dombrowski did it for years. How aggressive do you want to be? Are you willing to give up prospects? Because that's the position you put yourself in. That's it. That's the whole problem to me. It's like, you could talk Steve Pierce, you could talk Brad Ziegler, you could insert whatever name. Carlos Santana, a couple years ago, we shit all over the Red Sox for not making that move, and it helped get the Mariners to the playoffs at the end of June. So don't sit here and tell me there's no pathways. Like, yeah, you're going to have to pay more. That's what it comes down to. Craig Breslow doesn't want to pay more, which once again should tell you what the intentions of the actual deal were.
Based on the market that's been set, you don't have to pay more. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's not that expensive to get like high profile big league bats right now.
It was tough. Yeah, I expected to get a little more out of that. I mean, the way it started too was, did you factor in, the team was hot. The fans were finally getting back into it. Like, the vibes were really good. And he's like, of course, we factored that all in. And I'm like, well, you just didn't, though. It's funny, like, saying, of course we did, but they didn't do it. Jerry?
Do you want a chance to ask that follow-up question, Steve?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
When do you want to do that?
When do you want to do it? You guys are tight now. The thing that wasn't in that video, you guys were making out. I couldn't believe you guys started kissing at the end. It was like, when's he hopping on?
I think for me, what makes more sense? After the trade deadline or before? Would you rather know the thought process? After?
Yeah. Am I wrong with that? I mean, I feel like you get the most bang for your buck after the deadline.
I feel like there's a good chance we're just going to get the same responses we've gotten on the Devers front, and that's the most pressing thing to ask. Besides, are you going to buy? And we know right now, if anyone asks Craig Breslow if he's going to buy, he's screaming it from the rooftops. We're planning. Saying it. That's what we want to do. And he highlighted starting pitching is really the main thing in today's conversation, which, anyone who's watching the team, they maybe have a number 2 starter, maybe in Brian Bayo. Lucas Giolito's had a nice month, but everyone knows they need at least another real arm, especially with Cutter Crawford being out for the year.
That's why it needs to be before
the team's drowning. Do something.
Well, no, I need to be like the voice in the night.
You need to show them the way
to sell. Like, you just really need, like, if I see Aroldis Chapman on the mound one more time, I'm going to lose my fucking mind, because that's one more chance for him to sprain his ankle, running to first or
look at the mound at Fenway. It's possible, man.
Yeah, what's going on with the mound at Fenway?
What is the deal with this mound? My God.
Get it together, man.
What's happening? I thought they would have had a more intense, and I love the grounds crew, great people. I thought they would have had a more intense system than just bringing out a Poland Spring and spraying it at the
towel. And a fucking towel.
I don't know, brother. If you slip again, it's on you. I couldn't believe that. That was all weekend.
Towel. It's the dirtiest fucking towel I've ever seen.
Blew out his knee today going down on that warm-up pitch. If I was him, I'd be suing the Red Sox. That looked like a serious issue.
I know they were showing the popcorn as a joke, but I'm like, these guys over here got the biggest bag of popcorn on the planet, and they can't get the mound ready for big league play. What are we doing right now?
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It wasn't even raining.
If it was raining, then it wouldn't have been. Well, I get, it's the reverse problem, but I just couldn't believe that was as much of an issue this weekend. I don't remember that being that big an issue for any series
ever
we've ever watched. Yeah,
ever.
All of a sudden, it's the driest mound of all time.
Sweet Caroline on a loop 10 times.
Yeah. They basically did a whole Neil Diamond concert while they were fixing the mound.
By the end of it, people were like, "Sweet Caroline," they were looking around "What? We got to fucking do the thing again?"
Jeez,
yeah,
that was crazy.
Either way, I think also people probably want us to ask Raffy questions, but I think after the deadline, people will be like, "You're still talking about Raffy?"
I get what you're saying.
How did you redistribute the money?
I do think Dave asked great questions today. I know I've gotten on Dave before. I thought he was really good in that interview. And I thought the answers, as a lot of these, chief baseball officers do, were the same, kind of word salad that you're used to getting. So I don't know how much different. We're obviously good at making it comfy for whoever's on. I just don't know how much a different answer we're going to get.
I think it's why we're not looking for answers. We're telling him what to do.
You specifically, Coley. I would trust you to
Goalie needs to prepare a PowerPoint of like, here's what I've done in past drafts, and here's what I can do for you.
That's what I mean. I want to. It's pivotal to hammer both of those, both the trade deadline and the draft, because that's how you set yourself up real nice for the fall and winter.
Yeah,
I do feel like he's on a little bit of an apology tour is probably not the right word, but like I'm showing my face, I'm open to talking, I'm facing the music. Like we got the Boston Globe piece, which for a puff piece, man, was not very it was not framed very nice for Craig Breslow. Like you go back to the Chaim Bloom puff pieces and it was like, Chaim seems like the nicest guy in the world. You want to root for this guy. Like the closest thing in the Craig Breslow Alex Spear piece was like, there's some people that think he came into a really hard position, but he basically confirmed everything that's been out there. And his only thing about trying to be a better communicator was like, I want people to want to communicate with me. That's what I really want. That's a good front office. Well, cool. That's nice wording. You can say it that way. But between talking to you, we get him in the Nesson booth. It feels like he's trying to make this effort to be a little more human and front forward facing. And I don't know, it's going to take time. And at the end of the day, like the moves are going to be what the moves are. People are going to be mad about Rafael Devers, but it feels like he's trying to come off a little less robotic and distant.
Well, yeah, I said that to him. I said it would go such a long way. Like, we know that you're smart. We know you went to Yale, but we want to hear from Craig, the guy. And again, like I have criticized him heavily. I have mocked him on video now multiple times.
For money.
He did not owe me a conversation whatsoever, but we had one.
Yeah.
So I think it was like over, Jake, how long would you say it was?
Couple of years, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we really talked for quite some time. But at
was
the end of the day,
dude. Not even just like Breslow was willing to talk to basically anyone that wanted to talk before the game on Friday.
which I commend. I mean, he's facing the music, and I know that it's got to be a really lonely position, tough spot. Yes, T.
How many times did he swear?
Oh, he was letting him rip. He was, yeah.
Okay.
He was.
That's what he does.
Correctly?
That's what he fucking does.
He was just like, this fucking shit ass situation that I'm in. Yeah, you could tell. So he was being authentic. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. See how this relationship blossoms and where it leads. But I would love to have the conversation. And I think he knows that, we're not dickheads, like we're not assholes, but I think he knows that he's coming into a situation where there are difficult questions and they should be asked.
I think it's funny when people see like we may like, oh, you want to trade a player or whatever. I saw it a lot towards Coley's end where people wanted Coley to like jump Duran like in person, like to like go. I was like, what do you think this is? Like, you can have a take on a baseball player and like whatever you think it is, what it is. Duran understands the business. He knows this is what we get paid to do. We talk about the team, but like, what do you think we're gonna have Craig Breslow come in and just like mock him to his face and like insult him? Like, that's not how an interview works.
I would do that.
Breslow would be tough because he knows I'm gunning for his job. Duran knows I'm not. Like, there's nothing I can do to take his job. And yeah, I don't. I had people telling me I was too soft on Jaren.
Your
like, laughing too much
had me dying, dude.
Yeah, I had people telling me I was too hard on him. Like, I thought he handled it in a very funny way. I didn't expect him to handle it like that at all. Like, I was going to bring up trading for him because I know he's seen it. And we talked about it before this show, too. It's not like that was the first time he had said anything to me on the subject. But I do think the one thing that I didn't, because it's like when I'm having these conversations, they start last year when I first float the idea and everyone kills me for it. Like, it was not a popular opinion I had in the offseason to be like, that's like, I was just the only person to look at the jam and say, this is what I would do. Everyone else was just like, yeah, not Craig going to figure it out. So I landed on him, and it was never about he was bad at baseball. It was quite the contrary. It was because he was good at baseball and had so much control left, like you could fetch a pretty penny for it. Then the season starts. People are chirping me for it still. So now I'm arguing with those people, and it's like I'd take shots at his leadership. Those are ones where it is unfair of me because I'm not there every day. I'm not behind the scenes. But I'm making fun of the people who are like, this guy's irreplaceable. So I can see him not having the full context, being like, why is this fat fuck talking about my leadership when he doesn't have any idea what the fuck's going on? So that was one where I was like, yeah, I can see how I look like a tremendous dickhead to you. The trade shit, I said it on this show to him. Like, yeah, I would trade you because you're good. And we just have a log jam. Simple. So I don't know what I could have done there that would have made the faceless, like 2-follower people happy. But like I said, the loudest disagreement we had was about jersey colors after the conversation.
No, when you clarified, what the take was, he didn't really have anything to say. He was like, that's valid. Yeah, like I guess that actually makes sense.
He has to connect the dots. He realizes what's happening.
Of course.
Like he's not stupid. Like look around. Ceddanne Rafaela continues to do it, continues to level up at the plate. Willie Abreu's been on fire since he came off the IL. And Roman Anthony, you have Alex Cora, just had his first 2 multi-hit games. Alex Cora says he's been outstanding. The at-bats, he thinks they're great. He's super into what he's doing. And there already talks about him possibly leading off in the next couple weeks.
No, and I like Steve even asked like about the fan base thing. Like that is one thing I've seen shift drastically, and it's because of his play. I don't feel like I've been super hard on him for his play this year, but I think he views me as the face of because I started the trade shit. And now so many people were against me in October, November are now on my side, but for very different reasons. It's like I created like the Calvin and Hobbes cartoon, and now like neo-Nazis have him pissing on people on the back of their trucks. It's like, I'm not associated with those people. That is not why I want him gone.
I also think it's the beauty and the curse to what the phenomenally talented Jeremy does, where we only have like a minute and a half to do promos. So if you're only seeing a clip, if you're only seeing a soundbite, you just assume that was like the entire segment, and that sums up your entire opinion on this guy. So I always get a little worried about what the players see and what gets back to them, because it's like you just don't have the full context, which is the nature of what we do and how we promote the show. But no, I think we've been super fair about Jaron on this show. And I know people actually there were some people that actually thought that I wanted to fight him. That was funny. But no, if anything, we probably haven't been super critical during the season. I don't think we've really gone after him or pointed out that he has had a tough year. And, I
had one episode where I was critical of him. And it's because he pissed me off.
That's but I get that.
There's reason. He's been a below league average bat this year, and he's been a below average defender,
and
he
knows that too.
Decisions on the base paths at times. You have to call that shit out. It's part of it, especially when you're considered a leader on the team or whatever it may be. There's been moments where his play has not lived up to the leadership role he holds, and he said just as much himself. Just what it is.
He acknowledged it on the show, and that's kind of when you have those convos, which are just human convos. It's like, all right, yeah, cool, yeah, we're on the same page here, and the fan base is always, certain portions of the fan base are always going to want you to just be super negative if a guy's not living up to his potential. Sometimes there's not much more to add to the conversation where it's like, yeah, he knows he needs to be better. We know he needs to be better. And it would be great if we got last year's Jaron this year, but that's not what's happening right now. So what's going to happen in the next 3 months leading up to the deadline? Nobody knows, but hopefully he can at least get hot in this stretch. And then who the hell knows if he's going to be here? That's the nature of the business.
And when he left, I was like, I liked him. I was like, oh, damn it. It sucks that there's going to probably have to be a baseball move here that gets him shipped out or something along those lines at some point. And you can look at a player and be like, oh, he's likable. That was a great interview. But there's also baseball reasons why he might not be on this team or he might not make sense going forward. They're two separate things, and you can have those two separate thoughts.
And you guys had the anime thing, so I'm sure you want him to stick around. I felt
connected. I was like, and just seeing someone be that vulnerable when you go through shit and you know what it's like to go through shit, the way he was even trying to talk himself through it, it's like, if you've been in those spaces, you can relate to it. You understand what it feels like to question things or yourself or think you're not good enough. And I think that's why so many people connected with the interview, because a lot of people have been in that place in their life.
I very much enjoyed the clarification on the Raffy stuff. I think we probably read too much into what he initially said about Raffy, where it's like, guys, we have to play the next night. We still have 80 games left. Like, we can't just be like, oh, wow, sulking about the Raffy trade. Just kind of like us, honestly, too. It's like, I look at the rest of the season. We got a lot of shows left. We got a lot of games left. Like, it's going to be hard to just be talking about the Raffy thing all year, because the Red Sox put us in this position. The Red Sox put this lineup in this position, and they have to deal with it. Jerry?
The Red Sox are what, 4-8 since the Raffy trade? 4-8.
Same with
the Giants are 4-8 since the Raffy trade.
About that means nothing to me.
It means something. You can't be like,
it has some value.
Whoever has Raffy, like, it would be way worse It'd be way worse if they were 11-1.
You've been the third worst offense in the sport since the trade, and the only reason you're not last is because you had a 15-run outburst with Chris Bassett, who looked like a fucking joke on the mound.
Looked like he was going to throw up.
Dude, he looked like he was shitting himself the whole start. He was tipping. He was doing something because they were sitting on everything.
I mean, they still crushed everyone that came out after him. Not to take anything away from the Red Sox offense on the one day that they showed up in the series, but yeah, I'm just saying, I think it is worthy of noting that it's not like the Giants got Raffy and just fucking lit a fire under their ass and they've been killing everyone. They have the same record as you, 4-8.
I've seen him go win a game for them. I saw a game today you lost by 2 runs where maybe a guy like Rafael Devers makes the difference. I saw a game where Rafael Devers beat you in San Francisco. Be nice to have the 2 wins maybe right there.
Regardless of the records.
Or that extra innings game in Los Angeles.
It's what it represents. Like being able to trade someone like that and take him out of a lineup that definitely needs it. I think that's more what it means to the players and to us right now. The records obviously mean something, but only to a certain degree. I feel like it's very clear they're missing Rafael Devers.
And it's even the idea that having someone in that lineup like that changes the at-bats for the other hitters on the team. Those guys are going to see pitches. They're going to get more opportunities because they know Rafael Devers is coming. It's the same reason when Alex Bregman even comes back. It's like, cool, Bregman's going to be back. He's the only guy you're scared to pitch to in this lineup. Having none of those guys is a horrendous spot. Having one helps a little bit, but like that's the life you're going to have to live right now. There's no one in this lineup anybody fears, ever.
And some of those losses, 3-2, 3-2, 5-2, 5-3, like these are close games. You flip a couple of those, all of a sudden now you have that last wild card spot.
And when you look at the upcoming All-Star break, and this is what people don't realize, yeah, you have the Nationals and the Rockies coming up. The Reds that's a fucking hard team for you to face. I'm sorry, that's no cakewalk or whatever it may be. They're a better team than you this year. You're going to have to face the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Cubs coming out of the All-Star break. Right before the trade deadline. Good luck. Good fucking luck. Like that's what you're going to have to go through that 9-game stretch. And sometimes they've played up to their competition, to be fair. We'll see what it is at that point because that is such a talent difference at that point. And Bregman's going to be trying to get his feet wet.
I got a DM Friday late after the game, obviously. And this person said, how many lineups in the American League would you take the Red Sox over at that point? Obviously, they scored 15 on Saturday. I give all the credit to the jerseys there. It's grim, man. Like when you look 1 through 9, especially like with Bregman hurt, no Cello, Hurricane Yoshida get the touchdown on land. Like without those key guys, it's a grim fucking lineup. Grim.
It is. Again, like we said last show, like you're going to need a handful of guys to start taking off and guys that are not really due to take off. If anything, Romy, Toro, Ref Snyder, they're due to suck and go the other way. And they've been helping you a lot where you wouldn't really expect it.
I don't know.
I'm just saying based on the averages here. It's like,
yeah,
you
but
shouldn't be leaning on guys that have already carried you.
Romy and Ref
really
Snyder, they're getting in there against lefties and just torching them. Like that's just what they do. They're not playing every day. But yeah, Toro, sure. A regression to the mean would make a lot of sense. Like he's not who he's been. But if it's a lefty, I feel as good about having Romy and Ref Snyder out there as any other option that you could have in terms of just like the lefty lineup. But
it's a lefty today.
There was a lefty against Yusei Kikuchi.
Kikuchi's been good though.
They're lefty mashers.
Whatever.
Like, and they are. I want them in the lineup against lefties. You're going to face a lot more righties.
Romy just hit the farthest home run of the season in this series, and you're going to shit on the guy?
I like Romy. I want them playing against
lefties. Yeah, I'm a huge Romy fan.
But you're going to face more righties. You can't
bank on these guys just keeping doing that.
No, I didn't say anything about them facing righties. But I don't know. Like, it's
hard for me to believe that there haven't been repercussions throughout the locker room when they just keep not winning games. Like at a certain point, it does need to materialize on the field. And when you win 15-0, it almost doesn't point to anything because there was no adversity. Like you just stomped a team that had a bad pitching day. That happens. So like today, if they had pulled that one out, I would have been like, oh, okay. Like this is momentum that they're riding. They had to crawl back into this game because Buehler definitely didn't want them to win it.
Yeah, these are the ones you have to win. I know Jared alluded to it earlier, but I think the Red Sox, as crazy as it sounds, have enough talent to make the playoffs. And obviously getting Breggy back, getting Yoshida back after he recovers from the tornado injuries, like I think that's going to help this lineup big time. And the AL's really not that great. It's going to come down to little things. And that's what I'm most scared of. I'm most scared of the bad base running. I'm most scared of the fielding. I'm most scared of not being able to get a bunt down or have situational hitting or get the third out, or even, and people got upset at me at this, and I didn't mean to blame Nate Eaton that much, but it's like, if he catches that ball, Walker Buehler doesn't throw an extra 29 pitches, and he's probably able to find a little bit of a
bailed out by Rafaela and Story for the first 2 outs of the inning.
I get it. But it's like, still, the way Buehler's going, you know that if anything goes off path, forget about it. Like, his meltdown percentage right now is nuts.
For a guy who's making $21 million a year, who goes out there and has such pathetic attempts at getting guys out at the bottom of the lineup, can't even find the strike zone, not even competitive at bats. And he says it, something happens and he gets out of whack, and that's kind of where he's at right now. You just got to be better than that, man. I'm sorry. And you go back to 2021, I get it. The arm angle was at 50 degrees, and that's what's working. He's at 41 degrees this year. I'd like to see him throw the sinker a little bit more, because that's one of the few pitches he throws that doesn't get crushed. But at the end of the day, he can't throw strikes regularly. Like that's what we're talking about with Walker Buehler here. Find the fucking strike zone.
It got to the point, and again, with the Eaton thing, he would have been out of that inning with 43 pitches. Instead, he leaves with 72 pitches. That's a lot different. Would have been 2-2. It's 4-2. To your point, though, T, I get it. Like, I think two things can be true at the same time, where, okay, you didn't get 3 really good defensive plays behind you. Just get a third out yourself. Earn that one yourself. And he didn't even earn it himself. It was Cap. It was Narvaez.
Exactly. Like, he had to step up and get the out for you. Like,
I know.
For a veteran pitcher, you should be able to have enough to get by. Just the smarts, enough to place the ball wherever it is. And even that right now, he looks like he turns into a puddle the minute something goes wrong.
It got to that point in that inning where I had just said, if you're on the Blue Jays right now and you don't swing, you're going to get on base. Like, that's really bad. You're facing Walker Buehler, a guy that just won the World Series, has been in this league, has done really good things in this league. Obviously, he's on a downswing right now. But if you don't swing, you're going to get walked. That's kind of what it feels like. And that's exactly what happened in that inning. I don't think the Narvaez won at second, but the Narvaez throw to second, and I love Cap more than anything. I just got scared with anything we throw to second base. I'm like, this is probably going to go poorly. Incredible play to get the pick off at first base, but that's not to overshadow the fact that they should have got out of that inning too.
A guy in Tyler Heineman who was not even good enough to be up here for regular stints last year. Like, you threw 7 pitches and 1 was in the zone. 1. Yeah, it's the number 9 here. Like, come on, at least be competitive. I'd rather you get smacked around if you throw it in the zone. Like, put it in the fucking zone, man. At least make it a competitive at bat.
These are the worst ways to lose. The bullpen was incredible today.
Yeah, and that's before giving up 2 homers in the first inning. Like, talk about setting the tone. Barger, Guerrero, the cutter to Guerrero was friggin' down the middle of the plate.
He found the zone.
And credit to Buehler, at
when
least
he
he's
finds
saying
the zone,
truth.
he finds the zone
right in the middle of that thing.
Like, he's like, I'm trying to pitch to be in the big leagues right now. That's how I feel like I'm going. Yeah. And that is what it looks like. Seriously, you are that bad right now. I'd take Cooper Criswell getting regular starts over him right now, because I don't think he's
been great for the Woo Sox.
Yes. And he's just sitting down there, but it seems like we're waiting for Kyle Harrison in a week or Hunter Dobbins, who doesn't seem that close. I know he didn't get an MRI on his elbow, but he's probably a couple weeks away still.
What should we try the Pavetta thing with him, where someone opens for an inning and then he comes in? Because I can't remember what Middlebrook said on the broadcast today, but I think it was 10-28 is his first inning ERA.
Yeah.
Like, should that just be like, if it's a lefty heavy or whatever, like Big Bernardino hours, just somebody you're fine throwing an inning, and then he comes in the second? Like, Cora said he's going to keep pitching, so I don't know why we'd keep running the same play every time out.
He looks like his head's beat in. So at this point, I'd be open to anything. I really would. But to be fair, it looks like they're thinking about that with Tanner Houck at AAA, where they have him following an opener down there, which might tell you it's probably a bullpen role, because he got rocked for the 3rd straight rehab appearance.
Either.
Maybe you can fuse him and Buehler together and they're a 5th starter, like, which is sad, but like, that's where you are.
Well, to Middlebrook's point there, the tough part with Buehler being a starter is that entering today, he basically had a 10 ERA in the first inning. Batters hitting at a 1035 OPS against him. Then the 4th inning, 13.94 ERA. So when guys come up again, they're like, we loved what we saw the first time. Let's feed on this again. But in the second and third inning, he's got like a 2 ERA. So I don't know. I really don't know what that means. Then again, that would probably mean the guys are getting their second at-bats in the second or third inning.
Yeah, exactly.
if
They're
he's
tired from running around the bases in the first inning.
But when they get their third at-bat in the fourth inning, they're just ready to crush him. That's kind of what it feels like right now. And then in June, he's got an 11.07 ERA. It's really, T, I know you had just said and you had tweeted out the quote, but yeah, he's fighting to be not just a Red Sox starter. He's fighting to be a big leaguer right now, which blows.
Which is infuriating when you see the stuff. The stuff, it should be better than that. Like, he's throwing 96. There's movement to his pitches. They don't suck. And now that's where the arm angle thing he keeps bringing up comes into. But for this to be the result, man, like, he did retire 10 in a row. Yes, that was 2 incredible defensive plays to get those final 2 outs, but it has to be better than this, man. It really does. And at this point in time, I wish there was a faster hook for them because I don't think the team can afford to just throw a game out every 5 days right now, but that's what it is with him.
I don't want to just trim it down to something this basic with the team record when he pitches, but his first 7 starts, they were 6-1. The Red Sox, his last 7, they're 1-6. That kind of sums up how Walker Buehler's season's gone.
He's been the worst starter in baseball.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
No, especially as T said for $21 million. I feel bad for him because I know that he was super excited to come here and expected a lot of himself. And yeah, we were pumped to have him here. Had him on the show, and he's a good dude. It's been real bad, and he's acknowledging how bad it's been to the point where he's saying, I know I'm not only just fighting for a spot in this team's rotation, I'm fighting for a spot in the big leagues. He's like, I don't know how many teams want a guy with a 7 ERA in their rotation. Obviously, in his case, if you're making $21 million, that kind of dictates that you're going to be at least given every opportunity, unless there's some sort of Tanner Houck like Phantom IL situation, which I feel like that has to be on the table. I know Walker talked about it. The Alex Cora press conference, Nesson only showed a tidbit of it. Was Alex asked again after today's game if Walker was promised his next start?
Yeah, he said, we're not considering a change right now. Not right now. They're like, have you put any thought into his rotation spot? Not right now. It's like they're not considering a change yet. Which I think goes back to the Kyle Harrison July 4th thing.
I agree. I think it's one more start, and then that's Kyle Harrison hours.
That's what it feels like. But to be fair, Kyle Harrison, I'm not trying to read too much into his line at AAA, but he is trying to incorporate 2 new pitches right now.
A lot of swing and miss.
Very true.
I mean, at this point, you would much rather if Kyle Harrison is a piece that you got, that you're considering a piece of the future, I would rather experiment with him at the big league level than kind of, roll the dice again with Walker Buehler. And I love Walker, but I'm not saying DFA him. I'm not saying whatever. I'm saying you should probably Phantom IL, have some rehab starts where you can work on some shit where it's not going to cost the Red Sox big league ball games. That's all.
I'd be fine putting him in the bullpen and letting him work.
If they DFA him, and someone claims him, can you work out, can you negotiate the money in a trade there or no?
Oh, the money?
Yeah.
If someone wants to trade, but no one's going to, unless someone's willing to bite. Him. Yeah. If you claimed him, you'd take on the entire contract.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's negotiable.
No, I think it would have to be another team trying to make a deal because they want to jump the order.
That's not true. If someone gets DFA'd and they get claimed, they have the option to just take him and assume all the money or work out a trade. It's either or. If the player is claimed, if he clears waivers, then he can accept a minor league assignment, which someone of his stature is not going to do, or he can be granted his outright release. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, the Red Sox DFA him. He has to pass through waivers. If the Dodgers claimed Walker Buehler, they could just take him for nothing and assume his entire contract, or they can work out a trade in which I'm assuming in any trade you can talk money. Like, so
if they claim him, then that's the team that claimed him.
No.
Correct.
Right?
Well, yeah. Like you would only be
you
able
would
to
need
work out
another
a
team
deal
to get in there to try and work out a deal to beat it.
I don't
Like
think you could
to beat the
jump
order, right?
I don't think you can jump the order.
If you tried to make
No.
a deal,
No. It's when you are designated for assignment, you have to pass through waivers, and the order of teams is based on their records right now. So like the shittiest teams would have their first stab at Walker Buehler.
yes.
So all these teams would have to pass on Walker Buehler to be like, we claim him. It's like, all right, fucking, you can have him. Here you go. And then they're on the hook for his salary for the rest of the year, or they can try and trade for him.
Which you could still be on the hook for their salary.
Correct. Unless
Either team, you could negotiate it. I just didn't know if it was a procedural thing where it was like once it's DFA'd, like the other team's assuming it. Because you could, I think if you're eating the money, you could actually get something here. And that's where it's like, I don't think they would IL him because any attempt at a trade, someone's not going to trade for an injured Walker Buehler. He would have to be at least healthy.
Yeah.
Red Sox lose 5-3.
5-3. So here's the thing, man. I am watching the Red Sox series by series, waiting for that breakout moment, waiting for that, like, okay, here it is. Like, here's the game where the team established their identity. And maybe some of us were thinking it like, all right, they traded Raffy. Like, this is like their bonding thing. It's like, you guys were, and I don't know this was happening, but this is kind of just like fan fiction. You guys were complaining about the environment in the room, about how like this guy didn't want to be here, and we're all trying to pull on the same rope here, and this guy's not, and he's making the most money and this and that. Now he's gone, so now we go. That should have been the catapult moment. And I think the answer is yes to this question. I'm curious what you guys think. Can there still be a catapult moment for this group, knowing that the Devers trade was not it?
In theory, yes, but then it's a different question if we think that's going to happen, which is I would lean.
So you're
no.
thinking like blockbuster trade has to be the only thing that could get this team going.
No, I mean the return of Breggy is in the running there. Like, how good is he going to be when he comes back? What does Yoshida look like when he comes back? I still think they can. The same.
I just saw him on Friday.
Exactly, they can make the playoffs. Like, this team can make the playoffs based on what this league looks like and based on a couple pieces they're getting back, and allegedly based on the fact they're going to be aggressive at the deadline because Breslow does keep saying that. But do I think that's going to happen? It's unlikely. It's unlikely that they'll have some big spark moment and go on some big streak, because the things that they do consistently are dum-dums in the field. Inconsistent pitching is something that consistently happens, and bad base running always happens. Those things are not what playoff teams do. So as long as that's the case, I don't think it's going to change. Jerry?
You would acknowledge that Craig Breslow is a smart guy, right?
Of course.
Okay. Would a smart man continue to hype up the fact that they're going to go hard at the trade deadline if that wasn't actually the plan, or that he wasn't confident that he could execute that?
I think it would be odd for him to keep saying this and then they don't do that. He's aware that he's saying this much. Like, he knows that. Right? So, like, wouldn't this be weird if he keeps saying this and then they aren't aggressive? That would feel a little bit off.
It's just, are you going to still be alive by the time you get there? You're another 4 or 5 game losing streak from being out of it. Like, that's what it is at this point.
He could be dead, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
they go on another 4 or 5 game losing streak. Like, we talked about being at 5 games below 500, and that's when people were out. We were telling people to go do something better with your life, try to find something else. You're 2 games away from that right now. And yeah, you can look at those series against the Nationals and, the Rockies and say, well, maybe that gets them there and they figure it out. I don't know. The Reds are a better team than them. Why if they come in here and sweep you?
I've just always believed it doesn't make any sense to say what you're going to do at the deadline. Like, I don't think there's any benefit to saying it, so I've always thought
Dave
that's a little bit
Dombrowski
weird
did
to
it all the
pick us up.
time, and he just
No, he
fucking
did.
drilled it.
And that's how he should act if he had the conviction to make that Devers trade then. If you're so convicted that you're going to tell everyone you're buying, make the move now before the team drowns. Because right now, the head's underneath the water and their hand is the only thing you're seeing. That's it. That's what you're looking at with this team.
Well, you would die.
He's coming up for air every couple days.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
can
right.
see the top of the head. Okay, yep.
Yeah. You
But
can't
like
breathe
that's
out
where
top
you
of it.
are right now. Like
It's-
they're the first and second wild card. It's not like it was before where they're in the exact same spot as the third wild card. It's not that anymore. The first wild card, 6.5 games out of that. You're 5 games out of the second wild card. Like the third wild card, you have to jump 4 teams to get there.
Yeah, the same 4
It's also-
teams you've been jumbled up with the last month, basically.
And those are teams you're going to have to fight with. And one of those teams you lost both series to this year. And the Angels.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's also hard to beat your chest on a thing that you don't have that much control over. Like teams
Yeah,
know
takes two
the
to tango.
situation
It's a weird
the
thing to
Red
do.
Sox are,
Hmm.
but they also know the situation they're in, and they know you've been talking about it openly
Yeah.
like this. So they're going to be asking you for every penny. And if
Mhm.
that's how he's going to be paying for players, I need him gone. Like I need him gone today, because that would be one of the craziest moves I've ever seen. That would not be the sign of like a smart or like healthy brained individual.
It's still for that. That's one of the biggest reasons why I always think it's weird to just be like, this is what we're doing. So, all right, now everyone, not just the fans, now these other teams know exactly what you want to do too. And they're going to use that against you. I've just never really understood that.
And you lose credibility with the fan base if you keep saying we're buying. And then by the time it's time to buy, you're out of it. And you fell out of it at that point when you're the reason you took one of the better players on the team out of the lineup.
To that question, though, Jerry, of like that springboard moment, I don't even know if this team needs one of those to make the playoffs, which is the crazy thing. Like the win line right now for that last playoff spot is 84 wins. It's not absurd that the Red Sox could get there without some magical 10-game winning streak. So,
Well, they need more things to go their way. Like,
of course.
What's like their best stretch of baseball was the one that they were on pretty much right before the Raffy trade, right?
Correct.
Basically
And
through
we
game
were-
1 of the Giants series.
And we were
Right, 'cause they
talking
did beat the
about
Mariners.
a week and a half of good ball.
Yeah, it was like a 10-game span. Yeah.
If you could reach into this 2025 season and pull out the best stretch of baseball that they've played this year, we're talking about a week and a half. Because everything else you would pull it out. Like if it was just like, you know, you reach into the bowl and pull it out. It's like, all right, this sample here, like, okay, they were 5 and 7. That's not it. All right, reach in here and you know, get 6 and 4. That's not it, right? Yeah, pull this out. Oh, okay, they were 7 and 9. Like that was the only stretch where you could pull it out and be like, oh wow, like they were playing good ball right here. Everything else has been either mediocre or subpar. They had 1 week and a half stretch where they were like, oh, this team's fucking hot. That's it. That's it.
From April 29th to June 12th, their longest winning streak was 2 games. That kind of sums things up.
You never scored more than 4 runs in a game during that winning streak. It was your rotation just being ridiculous. And Rafael Devers was on that team for 5 out of those 6 wins.
Yeah. T, do you have any numbers on Lucas Giolito? Because I feel like he deserves the attention for what he's been able to do to his season at this point. I think he's got a sub 4 now, right?
Yeah, 399.
Yep,
So he's sub
3.99 on
4.
the season, 405 FIP. Last 4 starts, 0.72 ERA at 305 FIP.
Okay. And talking to him in the dugout before the game, like there is something. It's not just like, oh, it's a hot and cold thing. Like he thinks he has found the thing and has made adjustments to where the reasons why he's pitching well, he can explain. Like it's quantifiable to him. So that was encouraging to hear. And that was before he made the start on Saturday where he shoved against Toronto. So knowing that he's figured it out and he knows that he's figured that out and has continued to pitch well, that's super encouraging. I mean, how sustainable? It's obviously not a sub 1 is not sustainable the rest of the way, but if he can be a sub 4 guy, That's fucking great. And combine that with my guy, Brian Bello, pretty good. We don't know what Harrison looks like yet. What are you shaking your fucking head for, Coley?
I thought I heard you say it was your guy, Brian Bello.
That is what I said.
Ah, interesting.
Why? Is there someone else who's a Brian Bello guy on this podcast?
No,
I feel like it's just me.
I just recall before the year you saying Dick Fitz and or Quinn Priester would have a better season. And maybe one of those is true.
Yeah, so I was right.
There you go.
Giolito is another one of those guys that credited Bailey for helping his arm angle because it's allowed the fastball to play again. And we know that Bailey helped a lot with the breaking stuff. So
See,
if you're looking to give credit to him for something, that's a spot to do it.
When he was 4 starts into the season, he had a 7.08 ERA, and I'm sure we weren't talking that great about him on this program. I gave this a 0% chance. To go 4 straight starts and you got a 0.72 in that span, 2 earned runs and 25 innings pitched. Well, probably my favorite part about Giolito is averaging 6.1 innings per start in that span. He's going over 6 every single time, or at least 6 every single start in the last 4. He's only had 3. That the blow-up starts, when they happen early, especially coming off a missed season, just count as like 2 blow-up starts in how we look at it, where it's like, all right, we don't really know how to grade you, and it looks like you suck most of the time. Since then, he's really settled in. He's got 1 really bad start the last month and a half. I think since mid-May, he's got a 2.35. So this is a guy that, to your point, Jerry, I think has clearly found something, and if he can keep doing this, I wouldn't want to trade him. I just want to make the playoffs, man. I know we want to just deal everybody. I just missed the playoffs. I missed the postseason. I want to make them.
I'm not of the mind that they're mutually exclusive decisions. If the Red Sox are going to make it in, it's going to be a very 2021 Braves best case scenario type of deal where Acuna just got hurt. We traded Devers for no reason. So that's where it's I don't think that they're mutually exclusive. And I also think the sooner you act on the selling part, the more of a chance you give yourself to buy. And you have a lot more money to spend, by the way. You're not depleting everything if you do want to go buy. Make the roster fit. I'm happy Yoshida's coming back. He really doesn't have a spot. He doesn't. Even with the trade, he still doesn't have a roster spot. Unless if everyone's just done with Dave.
He's just going to be a platoon hitter.
Right.
You got Nate Eaton up here too.
Sure. One of those 2 guys is gone.
Oh no.
I'm just saying, but for now you have one less bench option, because Yoshida's not going to pinch run for someone. He's not a defensive replacement for someone.
Yeah. Why would you ever play him
Ian
in
Brown?
Field?
He was moving. This guy's got some speed.
Once again, the guy you did not ever want touching the field either.
I do. Steve, what do you think about ethos, brother?
Jared, I think a lot of things about ethos, and one thing I think immediately is that a lot of us know that we need life insurance to protect our family's financial future if anything were to happen to us. And one of the biggest excuses for putting it off might be that you think it's too expensive, but with Ethos, you can get affordable life insurance easily online. You love Ethos, right, Jared? It's you and Breggy that love Ethos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, shout out to Ethos, have made Alex Bregman a very, very, very wealthy man. But yeah, I'm an Ethos guy as a customer.
No, 100%. Yeah, no, Breggy's just sitting on that money. He has not sold the trophy yet, but if he does, it is worth a lot of money. Credit to him for holding on to it and not getting rid of it.
I think contractually he has to hold on to it for a year.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll check back in after the season's over. I think it's until Halloween, until the World Series ends. The traditional life insurance process is complicated, but Ethos has made it fast and easy. Life insurance is more affordable than you think. With Ethos, you can get a free quote and customize a rate that fits your budget, T. You can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies as low as $2 a day billed monthly. Lock in your rate today since premiums can go up as you age. Ethos makes it fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. No medical exam required. You just answer a few health questions 100% online, which is a beautiful thing. Get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. You can get same-day coverage without ever leaving your house. Ethos is a trustworthy company that disrupts the traditional life insurance industry. 3 million families, in fact, have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help find the right coverage. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote today at ethos.com/section10. That is ethos.com/section10.
Suck one.
Suck one.
Suck
Shout out
Ethos,
Chris
man.
Murphy.
Shut him up.
Feels like a final thoughts, but
What? Made his return from Tommy John. Pitched 2 scoreless innings,
I know.
4 whiffs.
I know what he did.
Feels
I know what he
the
did.
final-
I feel like
Yeah.
he deserves a little bit of a tipping of the cap.
And then you just
Yeah. I feel like a final thought is like a tip of the cap.
That's a
type thing.
prospect. Well, this is
That's
big
not like a
leagues.
whole like segment.
No, part of the second game though. We're talking Giolito.
Yeah, you can save it.
Yeah, we're all over the place. You know, we're just talking through it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just want to make sure T and got his Chris Murphy shout out.
He looks
That's all.
good. I'm happy he's back in this bullpen.
He looked fine.
Okay.
I
I
like
like
him.
Chris Murphy.
I do too. For real, I do like him. What is he like? 94?
Yeah.
Not bad. Anyone else have any thoughts from the series?
I don't know how Bello got out of the second, let alone pitch 6 innings.
The
Not
safe
crazy.
call was crazy in the first. At home plate.
Tyler, I think you called
Oh,
Sedan
sure.
a magician like Bello was a magician in game 1. I don't know how. Makes no sense.
1K, wasn't dominant, but like in the past, he's getting pulled in the second. Like not
Oh,
even
yeah.
like years ago, like earlier this year, he's not making it out of the second. So for him to put together 6, it didn't end up mattering. They didn't need they pitched Chapman and Whitlock today because of their lack of use due to how game 2 went. So it didn't end up saving the bullpen by any means, but just the fact that his maturity as a pitcher, not even as a human, but as a pitcher, just being able to get out of the second continues to give me great confidence. Like if you can be okay when you suck, that's huge for me.
The shortest
One
start
strikeout in that game.
The
Crazy.
shortest start he had all month was 6 innings. That's crazy. This guy couldn't go 5 for like 5 straight starts, and now he's giving you 6 pretty consistently. That's 6, 3 earned, 2 earned, 1 earned. That's all I can really ask from Brian Bello. He had a really
Right.
good month.
If he's
It's been
giving
awesome.
me 6
It's been
and
awesome
3,
for the Bayo boys.
if he's giving me 6 and 3, that it's officially on the offense after that when we don't win.
Are you
Yeah.
with us, Coley?
I'll figure that out by next episode.
Okay. We've been
So
with
you're
him
like-
from the jump.
You're on the fence about the Bayo boys?
Yeah, I just don't like committing.
Okay.
What about you, T? Are you a Bayo boy?
I think I've always been very fair to Brian Bello. Across
That's
the
not
board.
what I fucking asked. That's
Yeah,
not what I
I've
asked.
Never
always liked
answer
Brian
the
Bello.
fucking question.
Again,
I've always liked
not
Brian
what I
Bello,
asked.
so yes.
Not what I
I'm a
asked.
Bello
Not what
boy.
I asked.
I'm
Not
a
what I
Bello
asked.
boy.
Not what I asked.
Fuck
So you're-
off. I'm a Bello boy, okay? Toss me, please.
The
I'd love to get
exact same
kicked.
thing
No,
happened
he wants
last
it.
year with the Kenley boys. Like we asked you and you gave that same fucking stupid non-answer.
Well, I was very negative about Kenley at times, to be fair.
Mhm.
I
It
think for
sounds,
Brian
it
Bello, I've been
sounds
critical
very
when it's
deserved,
necessary.
Yeah.
though. From what I understand, any Kenley slander.
That's probably why last year's team was like, why do you guys go up for this fucking idiot?
Yeah.
I wonder how
Yeah.
his current team feels about him.
They're not in a
yeah.
position. That's the thing. Like these fucking shitty ass teams, like I don't really care what they think. They're bad teams.
Yeah. Steve, are you a Bayo boy?
Oh, of course. Yeah, we've been Bayo boys from the jump. I mean, Coley's definitely not a Bayo boy. I'd call him a Duran dude. I think that's
he is a
what Coley
Duran
is.
dude.
See, I don't even
Yeah.
like that because it makes it seem like I just don't like the guy. No, I just don't like the situation that's been caused here. And I think he's
Yeah.
the guy worth trading.
the thing we do
Bayo,
know is that
obviously, I
Coley's
think stinks.
not a Bayo boy. Not a Bayo boy. Like hasn't
Yeah.
hasn't been at all. Yeah.
Jake, are you a Bayo boy?
I'm a huge piece of the Bayo, fellas.
Yeah. Yeah, brother. All right. I love this team. Love my guys. Love my squad.
Tyler.
I do think it's
See?
important to acknowledge Trevor Story with a 113 WRC plus this month.
I was gonna
278,
say that.
316, 467, 782 OPS. He's still striking out a ton at 27%, but the defense has been a lot better. Ian Kendall had the metrics recently on Twitter, but I think the eye test will tell you alone. It's been a lot better this month than it was, especially the first month of the year. I think it's gotten better as the year has gone along, but big bounce back month for Trevor Story. And hopefully
He's been
he's
back.
anywhere close to this. Just be close to a league average bat.
He's been back, T.
I mean,
This is beneath
the month of June.
This is beneath him. Praising him for 113.
doing his job.
Yeah, this is beneath. This is TS10 we're talking about. Let me know when it's a 150 OPS plus.
Considering he had a 12 WRC plus in the month of May, I do feel like it's worth highlighting.
That was a joke, though.
Yeah, he was trolling.
He was goofing,
Classic,
dude.
right?
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
that was a little TS10 goof job.
Mm.
That has to be his best month as a Red Sox shortstop. No,
No way. May 2020.
shortstop.
Shortstop, T.
Oh, shortstop. Okay.
This guy doesn't fucking listen.
No, he
Never.
doesn't. He
He's
does
He's consistent
not.
with that, though.
Yeah.
August. Definitely not.
Oh,
August.
Daddy.
Thank you guys. He had a 119 WRC plus in the last month of last year.
How many fucking plate appearances?
72.
Can I get XBH?
Any other thoughts on the series?
No, that's
Nope.
Yeah, Rafaela is owed gallons upon gallons of ketchup from the rest of this fucking team. He's been robbed multiple series in a row where he's the only asshole showing up.
Steve, does he have one this year?
Let me check. My numbers actually are updated, so I'll give you that.
Thank God.
Plenty
The
of time
fuck?
to update him because we don't give it out anymore.
I was going to say, it's going to take some
Yeah.
time to find it. It's been like 5 episodes. When was the last
Yeah.
ketchup we gave out?
Seattle,
It's
right?
been like a month, yeah.
Oh,
It was
my
Seattle.
God. Yeah, just give me some time. I'm scrolling.
He may
All
have won, but like the series
he's got
they've
0.
lost.
He's got 0.
Yeah, that's
He got
crazy.
0?
Yeah,
He should have, like,
TS10's
2
got
or
3,
3.
and Rafaela's got none. That's a little crazy.
Shit.
Rafaela in the month of June, 282, 322, 541, 863 OPS.
How
Yeah,
long
that's
has
about a
Bregman
month.
been out, by the way? When was Breggy's last game?
May
Middle of May?
23rd.
Yeah.
Okay. Feels like
Something
a
like
couple
that.
months, but
Just
yeah, it's probably like
guessing.
5 weeks. He still has the second most MVPs of anyone on the team.
Yeah. Well, we suck.
It feels like forever.
Well, the team blows, so you don't really win a lot of catch-up when you suck. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's better for us, you know. Fucking episodes aren't as long because we don't have to do the voting. We're just like, all right, well, that's another series loss. Good night.
Yep.
We don't have to do the whole intro. Like, we
Yeah.
save so
Yeah,
much
they're
time.
saving us time. They want us to have a clean 40. Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Clean 40 X3.
Yeah, we're there. You know.
Hmm.
Steve said he would send me a free pizza if we got done by 10 p.m. It is 10:24.
Yep,
Yeah,
didn't
never
happen.
had a chance.
Tyler
No.
said something too.
I'll own it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Rafael is sick. I'm so happy he's doing this. It's like the only guy I look forward to at this point in time.
It's been good.
he has been good.
Good at field, good at hit.
Mm-hmm.
Throws are a little crazy at times. That'd be my only
Mhm.
thing.
No, you'll give him
Mhm.
those. Whatever.
And even
Right.
That catch
even
today was
that
beautiful.
Filthy catch.
even that T, it's still like the most reserved arm we have in the outfield because everyone
He's
else
also-
is hucking it too.
Yeah, he's also 24. Like, there's an understanding. If that's like the biggest thing that's going to happen while he's 100th percentile outs above average, you can live with it. like, genuinely, he is the best defensive outfielder in the sport. Like, okay, if it's some off wild, crazy throws at times, it is what it is.
His arm value is only 88th percentile.
Yeah, like
This guy
What
sucks,
an
Mike.
asshole.
All right. Anything else?
When I go to Stop and Shop, I can cross off everything that's on my list.
Tactical move! Incoming!
Stop and shop. Look ahead. Stop and shop.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Look ahead.
Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and shop, we look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and shop, we look ahead.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
What's better than having to stop and shop, getting it done for all of you?
The Stop and Shop look ahead, brought to you by Stop and Shop. Head on down to Stop and Shop right now. Use the promo code SECTION10 to get 10 cents off your tangerines, and you buy at least 5 pounds of tangerines only at Stop and Shop. We were one day or one, I guess, slot away from getting a Dick Burns matchup in this series.
That would have been beautiful.
So close. Yeah. So close. Instead, we're getting Garrett Crochet versus Chase Burns. We're getting Dick Fitz versus Brady Singer and Brian Bayo versus Nick Martinez. But man, were we close to getting Dick Burns on a Friday. Not a Friday. What fucking day is it, Jake?
It's on a Tuesday.
It's going to be Monday.
Today's going to be Monday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Unobstructed Views. It's a Views game Monday.
And it's 1975 night Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
That's Monday. Pap's remote for that one. And he was, I swear to you, he was just at Fenway today. He better have something fucking very important to do in Mississippi.
You should bring that up. Like, what's the deal, bro?
I am.
You fly back? Okay.
I am. I also, I won't spoil it. I was prompted by a player on the Red Sox to ask Jonathan Papelbon a question on this broadcast, which I do not know the answer to. They said, "You still doing that thing with Pap?" I said, "Yep." And he said, "Ask him this." So I'm going to do that. Only on Nesson Plus and Nesson 360. So not really. Yeah. It's not only on one, it's on both. Nesson. Garrett Crochet, 7-4, a 206 ERA. 102 whip. Oh, Garrett Crochet on again. Nothing. Nothing. Getting it on Nesson. Garrett Crochet on Nesson again. I think the last time we had the views, it was a Nesson game.
Only
On Nesson. Yeah, the last time we had the views, it was the Yankee game, I believe, right? That makes sense. It used to be we only got Bayo games on
exclusively.
You're like, now would be fun to get Bayo games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, but I'd rather have Crochet games if we're keeping it 100.
Oh, true. I'm just saying for the Bayo boys.
That's not what a Bayo boy would say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am a Bayo boy.
You just want to sit at home in the comfort of your place and be a Bayo boy and watch the game instead of
when I'm a Bayo boy, I'm trying to lock in. Like, I'm not trying to I don't want to have to talk when I'm watching Bayo.
Yeah. They won't let you crack stick on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would, but I feel like they wouldn't be pumped about it.
No. They have a strict no carrot waxing policy on Nesson.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Whatever. That's their prerogative. But yeah, it is going to be fun to see Garrett Crochet. Only on
Nesson Plus.
Yep. Garrett Crochet, 7-4, a 206 ERA, a 102 whip, and an 11.1 strikeouts per nine. Leads the American League in innings and strikeouts per nine while leading the MLB with 135 strikeouts. Through 17 starts, he has more games with 11 plus strikeouts, 3, than games with 3 or more earned runs allowed, 2. Red Sox have lost 7 of his starts. In 6 of those, he allowed 2 earned runs or less. Oh, we suck. Crochet has completed 5 innings in every start this year and pitched into the 7th 11 times. His sweeper has been unhittable in June. 4 for 29, a double, 138 opponent batting average, 172 slug. The Red Sox are 10-7 when he starts and are 4-1 in June. Chase Burns. Okay. For those of you who don't know Chase Burns, this will be his second career start. He debuted on the 24th against the Yankees He was number 2 overall pick. He averaged 98.1 miles per hour with his fastball and got 12 whiffs on the day. 6 on the fastball, 6 on the slider. The Yankees could not figure out Burns the first time through, but did all their damage the second time through the lineup. First time through the lineup, 1 for 9 with 6 strikeouts. Second time through, 5 for 9 with a triple, home run, 3 runs, and 1 strikeout. So basically survive the first time through and then see what happens that second time. That game is only on game 2. Dick Fitz, who is 0-3 with a 4.68 ERA and a 1.28 whip. 7.6 strikeouts per 9. The Red Sox have never won a game in which he has pitched at the MLB level. They are now 0-10.
Yikes.
0-10 in Dick Fitz games, which is not his fault because up until like he had that blow up start when he was trying to like rehab at the big league level, like his numbers were really good. The Red Sox are just not good. He only managed 4 innings in his last start, but the 6 Ks were a season high and the 15 whiffs also a career high. Only allowed 2 earned runs. He averaged 96.6 miles per hour with a 4-seam, which is the highest of his career. Would be nice to win. Brady Singer, 7-6, 4.31 ERA, 1.33 whip, and an 8 strikeouts per 9. This is Singer's first season outside of the Royals organization, and he is pitching almost exactly even to his career numbers. He had 2 of his best strikeout starts over his last 2 outings, which is bad news for the Red Sox. 16 strikeouts over his last 11 innings pitched. He did allow 5 earned runs, though. He's allowed 10 home runs this year, 5 on the sinker and 5 on the slider. The Reds are 9-7 when he starts, but they have lost 2 in a row. Game 3. Shout out to the Bello boys. 3-3, a 3.41 ERA, a 1.44 whip, and a 6.6 strikeouts per 9. A little rocky his last time out, but still has a 2.93 ERA, a 3.59 FIP over his last 7 starts. A season high 13 fly balls and only 1 strikeout was a little concerning. He does continue to limit damage as he only allowed 3 runs despite the 11 batters reaching base. Red Sox coaches really seem to trust him these days as he has completed 6 innings in 5 straight starts after only doing so twice in his first 8 starts. Faced a season high 28 hitters against the Blue Jays his last time out. The Red Sox are 6-7 when he starts and just 1-4 in June despite his strong numbers. Then we have Nick Martinez, 5-8, a 4.12 ERA, 1.16 whip, and a 6.6 strikeouts per 9. Nearly had a no-hitter in his last start. Martinez has been demoted to the bullpen in June after a 8.35 ERA over his first 4 starts of the month. His changeup is his best pitch, but has a tendency to hang it. The Reds are 6-12 when he pitches this year and are 1-11 in his starts when scoring 2. He Hold the Reds to 5 runs and you have a 95% chance of winning the game. So again, that is Garrett Crochet versus Chase Burns only on NESN Plus and NESN 360 unobstructed views. Then you have Dick Fitz versus Brady Singer and Brian Bello versus Nick Martinez. Prediction time. We will start with my guy, my best friend.
Nope.
The man who means more to me than anybody else.
This is going to hurt.
The person who I would jump in front of a moving train if it meant that they got to live, but I died.
Coley Mech.
Jake.
Thanks, Jerry. I'd die for you too.
Thank you.
I went reverse sweep this weekend. They made me look like a fucking stiff. So I'm going to go with a regular old sweep. Just go win 3 in a row. It's not that hard.
Okay. Classic sweep. How about the guy that I consider family? That if I ever left this earth, that I would be like, I know my children are going to be in good hands because this guy is here to oversee and make sure that my legacy lives on and know that not a day will go by that my family doesn't feel supported even though I'm not here anymore. And that's the McMahon-Coley Mick.
Yeah, it's a classic 1 and 2 here. Terry Francona comes home and kind of just shoves it right up our asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Are these Ellie's first games in Boston?
I believe so, yes.
Scenes.
You have them getting swept?
No, I said 1 and 2.
Oh, I thought you, okay. Yeah. And then last but not least, the guy that I love podcasting with. The guy that I think if I couldn't podcast with this guy, I'd fucking just straight up retire. The guy that I think he's one of the funniest people on planet Earth. Genuine heart. Just a guy that, he makes everyone else great around him just because he's great. A guy that, he's the heart and soul and the engine of this operation, what we have going on right here on Section 10. A guy that if he were to ever just up and leave, some may say Section 10 doesn't even exist anymore. A guy whose family I consider my own family. How about a prediction from Steve?
Appreciate that, Jared, and I echo all the same sentiments. It was very nice of you. Yeah, the Reds are a good team. T had alluded to it, but this is a better team than I think people think. They're 44-40. Somehow that's good for 4th place in the NL Central. That caught me by surprise. They like the Red Sox strike out a lot, so could see a lot of Ks in that first game that we wish was Dick Burns, but it's Burns and Crochet. That could be, you could be looking at someone throwing 13, 14 Ks in that one. I would not be super stunned. Nesson is doing that thing on Tuesday after they do views on Monday. Interested to see what that looks like, a throwback 1975 broadcast. I want them to lean into that a lot. My guess is they won't lean in as much as I hope, but I would love to be wrong about that. It is funny when you think about it, how much 75 is celebrated when the team lost the World Series. It would be kind of funny if they did like 1986 nights. It's like, I clearly wouldn't do that, but 75 is viewed a little bit differently. Congrats to Brian Bayo for debunking the vampire allegations. A 3.44 ERA in day games this year, 3.38 in night games. So pretty similar, regardless of day or night, but he's still going to stay in night, which I think he would prefer for the series finale. Speaking of series finales, and this is an annoying one for us recently, the Red Sox went 5-0 in their first 5 series finales in June, 0-3 in their last 3 series finales in June, but this series finale is going to happen in July. So let's start a winning streak in series finales. I think Roman Anthony hits his first Fenway homer in this series. I am very excited for game 1 of this series. I think whoever wins that game wins the series. And I'm going to say the Red Sox win that game, and they win 2 out of 3.
Wow. And then for me, I think, obviously you can't lose on the views, only on
that should be the theme of views. Can't lose on the views. I kind of like
can't lose on the views.
Bar.
Yep. That's a W for me. They never win with Dick Fitz. That's an L. And then the Bayo boys are going to be up in the finale. So that's a pretty clear, cut and dry, easily explainable 2 out of 3 for me. Tate?
You forgot the part where like you set me up, like you talked about me.
Huh?
Like everybody else like got like a big like speech leading up to what you said about them with like a lot of kind words.
Oh. Tate?
You just want me to go?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, I'll take Garrett Crochet on Garrett Crochet a day. You don't lose those games, but unfortunately, yeah, they do. 10-7 this year in those starts, but I'm going to be hopeful to start this series against a rookie in Chase Burns. You're able to show up and get the job done. Richard Fitz, yes, we still haven't won a game with him pitching in the big leagues. But I thought last start was the best swing and miss stuff we've seen. Just watching him rack up Ks like he did, 6 in that start in 4 innings. For a guy who struggled to rack up Ks in the past, I think that was a pretty big deal. Velocity up was across the boards for that one. Hold on, let me pull up my thing here. I lost my pitching probables. There we go. And then the Brian Bello start. Yeah, he's been on a run over the last month. I think there's something to Nick Martinez throwing 112 pitches in that last outing. I think we're going to get a tired version of him. So that should be a spot where the Red Sox are able to tee off a little bit. He has a career 5.70 ERA against them on about 20 innings pitched. Brady Singer sitting at a 4.7 ERA. But I feel like the Red Sox will do something stupid to lose one of those Fitz or Bello games as well. So yeah, I'm going to go 1 and 2. I think the Red Sox get it on Crochet Day. I think Fitz and Bello Day does not go that well.
Okay. If you want to go to any of these games, well, boy, do we have a deal for you, and it's with Game Time. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets the first pitch. They have killer last-minute deals, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Again, we went to the game on Friday. Shout out to the Game Time for hooking it up. And then Jake goes on Saturday. Shout out to Game Time for hooking it up. I would love to go, but I gotta do the thing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do, I can't lose on the views. You know what I mean? So that's, I don't know, maybe it's just tough during the week, you know, because I got 95 the Sports Hub on Wednesdays, Tuesday. I don't know, maybe if it was a Dick Burns start, I would go. And then like the game I really would obviously want to go to is Monday, but I can't be there. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Midweek's tough. I think what do they got? Tampa next weekend? Not this weekend, but the weekend after. They come to town. Maybe we'll do that.
At DC this weekend and then Tampa the next.
Was that you that said you want to go to DC?
I am going to DC. It's a trip for our Alan Peralt's birthday.
How old is Alan Peralt going to be?
76. And he's still playing ball. He still plays hoop like twice a week. Yeah, he's active.
Damn. Shout him out.
Yeah, he's born in the 40s. How about that?
Jeez. When is Alan Peralt's actual birthday?
October 1. This is what did you just like break your mic for that?
He might not be realized.
If you haven't realized, a big Peralta of the year thing, a big Dan thing is trips for birthdays, and so normally the trip happens not when the actual birthday is. That's the gift. This was his 75th birthday gift.
Oh. So this is last year's birthday gift?
This is last year's birthday gift. There were
that
other things.
That makes a lot
it's the
more
big
sense.
7.5. Just like
you explained it to us like we're celebrating his birthday on this trip, which you technically are, but it made it seem like it was during the trip or near it.
Yeah,
we are celebrating the 2024 Alan Peralt birthday in DC. Similar, Jared, we had such a fun time. Remember we did that in 2018? We had a blast. And there were no complaints at all. Like we did a trip to DC.
Steve booked an Airbnb that was 30 miles away from the ballpark.
No, the tough part is I booked
Uber
it late at night.
for 3 hours and then take a fucking 4-hour train to get to the game. We basically had to stay at a hotel so we could commute back to our fucking Airbnb the next day.
Yeah, but you didn't complain. See, that's one thing that I applaud you for.
No,
you were super chill
fine.
about it. You didn't make a whole stink about it.
No.
And then when we recorded a podcast outside the park, you weren't complaining about it the entire show.
No.
That was my favorite. And that's what you are. You're somebody that just keeps it real and keeps any of the drama off air. Like that's what I like.
Yeah, if I'm mad about something, no one's going to know about it.
No one's going to know about it. You won't say it when there's a camera rolling in your face. Like, nope, you keep it PG, brother.
Yep.
But that was one of the best nights of my life, though. The Stanley Cup night. That was fun.
That was cool.
Man. That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. Save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Save even more when you choose a section and you let Game Time choose the seats for you. Know your total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is also covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10. for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10, SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Suck one.
Thank you. Wow.
When I look ahead, and you wind up dead if you don't listen to what Steve says. Even then, you might still wind up dead. Caught in a tornado, get smoked by your neighbor's shed. When I look ahead, when I look ahead, Billy's gummy bears. Chew up with your mouth.
Weather Look Ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
Chew them with your mouth. There's no way they play a game this week.
You're doing it again. You're doing it
What?
again. Game 1 is Monday, Jared.
Yep.
7:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch.
Yep.
81 degrees. Mostly sunny, a 1% chance of rain.
I'm not taking that chance.
10 mile-an-hour winds flowing out to the pesky pole. There will not only not be a rain out on Monday, there will not be a rain delay on Monday, and that is an SPG. Game 2.
Crazy.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Now, this is where this applies. Game 2, Tuesday.
Yeah.
First game of July of this season. Woohoo! Okay, thought I lost you for a second.
No.
83 degrees with
And?
a 7:10 p.m. first pitch, as all of these games are. Scattered thunderstorms for Game 2 on Tuesday, which is the 1975 night. 31% chance of rain. It gets worse as the game goes on. Up to 50% chance of rain. 15 mile-an-hour winds blowing in from center. These sound effects are accurate for Tuesday. Watch out for that one.
Oh, I know.
Game 3, Wednesday, 7:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch. Like I mentioned, all of these games start at 7:10.
Jeez. Big one.
It is 83 degrees, mostly sunny, 1% chance of rain, 10 mile-an-hour winds blowing in from center field. So highest chance of rain, as I'm sure you gathered, is on Tuesday for Game 2. Where these sound effects might be in full effect at Fenway Park. It is a hot series, though, this week, so show up naked. That is your Weather Look Ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears. You chew them with your mouth.
That, I don't even know if the ballpark's going to be standing after what's coming on Tuesday.
Tuesday might honestly wash the park away, unfortunately. It's been a good run, 113 years.
Masa and the ballpark all dying together.
Yeah. 113 years, just like that. One storm and it's done.
Yep.
Tsunami Kane.
Shit, dude. Well, I hope it makes it, because it's a fun place to play ball.
Ellie's going to have one career game at Fenway Park. That's tough for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good... Is that you? Is that you doing that fade?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Nice fade, Jared.
Thanks, T.
Still waiting for that intro, Jared.
Just brick by brick, I'm rebuilding this relationship right now.
Good fade, brother.
Solid fade. Solid fade. All right, final thoughts? T?
Shout out Peyton Tolley. Made his first start at Double-A and looked absolutely nasty. Jared, would you like to make an announcement about Peyton Tolley?
He's my guy. Yeah, I'm a Peyton Tolley guy. I didn't get a chance to watch the start. I basically watched it through Hunter Knoll tweets, which was just as I mean, it's probably a better experience, honestly, because I'm just seeing all the strikeouts, that's the only thing I showed up paid to show up to see. But yeah, I'm a Peyton Tolley guy, and I'm happy to be here.
Went 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 9 Ks, 2 walks. I think was more exciting than anything was he got up to 98.9 with his extension, which is absolutely through the roof. That ball has to feel like 100 getting in on these hitters. And this was a guy who last year at TCU was sitting in the low 90s. We've already seen this gain year 1. It's exciting to see what it may look like, by the end of the year or going into next season. The secondary still have some work to do, but That's how much the fastball plays. Craig Breslow said he could throw it 60, 70% of the time and be an effective big league starter. So when you're talking about, that next wave of pitching and what it could look like between that, and we heard Luis Perales is looking like an August return. Those are two really fascinating arms you're going to have at Double-A, and Connolly Early needs to be promoted. David Sandlin continues to be hot. There's a nice wave of arms really pushing to the big leagues right now.
Hell yeah, brother. Steven?
I normally have some long final thought planned out. I didn't really have one today, so I just wanted to make it official that my new favorite player on the team is Carlos Narvaez. It was Rafael Devers for a long time, and Cap is my new guy. The combo, albeit brief, that we had on Friday, put him over the top. He is just the coolest guy ever. He's going to come on Section 10. Can't wait for that. He did that great video that Mikey did. He's going to come on the 10. What was that?
Did you say yuck, Coley?
Yeah, what was the yuck?
That's disgusting. He can join the program. I don't wish to be come on.
Oh,
that's fair. Yeah. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to hop on the show as a guest.
Is he coming over
Very
my house?
excited for that. I don't know. I'm sure he would. Yeah, he's just coming everywhere.
Tell him to come over my house.
Yeah, of course. But cool video that Mikey did there, talking about his kicks, which were incredible. But I expect nothing less. Steve. I'll tell him. This guy's like the least rookie of all time. He does everything like a pro, and like he's been there before. And he is. I'll let him know. And he's my new favorite player on the team. Love you, Cap.
Is T trying to be like me or what?
No, it's just the type of shit I'd be on.
His spine's gonna just fall right out of his asshole.
Yeah,
I just be on cool shit like this.
Yeah. Steve, tell him to come to my house.
I'm gonna tell him to come to your house, not at your house.
Right. Yeah.
Or on.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be brutal. If it's like, dude, just head. No, I'm coming on the house. No, that's not what we want.
I have a couple final thoughts. I know Coley still has some.
Let's hear them, Jerry.
Yeah. Sounds like we're kind of getting the ball rolling on the Section 10 cruise.
Ooh, very excited about that.
Yeah. Section 10 cruise could be a thing. That's
could be the highlight of the second half, honestly.
Could be the only thing that we have exciting going on in the second half. Also, getting the ball rolling on Section 10 night part 2 at Fenway Park this summer. Getting the ball rolling there as well.
Let's fucking go.
Just planting the seeds,
New jerseys.
Section 10 jerseys?
New jerseys? And the new
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Coley?
Yeah, shout out Roman Anthony, first career 3-hit night. All the peripherals on everything under the hood said he was doing a lot of good things. It's always good to see that actually materialize on the field. Hit off of a lefty today, T. One or two? One hit off a lefty today, so that's also good. But I'm here as we approach deadline season and draft season. Just to remind everyone to shut the fuck up when you're talking to me. James Wood, youngest player in MLB history to be intentionally walked 4 times, not once, not twice, not thrice, 4 times in one ball game. First player since Barry Bonds. Second player since Manny Ramirez. He was the last player to do it. So shout out James Wood. Shout out me.
Shout him out.
Really all I have to say.
Question for Coley?
Yeah.
Hypothetical situation. Hypothetical question for you, Coley.
Yeah.
It's actually ironic that you're wearing the jersey. Let's just say
my guy Big Mac.
Yeah, let's just say Chaim Bloom gives you a call, and he's like, "I recognize the baseball mind that you are. Would love to hire you in the St. Louis to work in the front office of the St. Louis Cardinals. Would you take the job to work under Chaim Bloom in St. Louis, knowing that you're not helping the Boston Red Sox? Like, where does your allegiance lie? Is it to the game or is it to the Red Sox?
So I unsurprisingly I've thought about this a ton, not necessarily the exact situation you've laid out in front of me, but like mostly the Rockies. Like the fact that they haven't called me. What do they have to lose? You know what I mean? Like I understand why like some of these elite organizations like the Cardinals and Red Sox are like, we simply can't do that. The Rockies hiring me would be like, they should do that, like genuinely. So that's where it's like, yeah, if someone in the sport offered me a legitimate job outside of the Yankees, I'm absolutely taking it. I can't in good faith work for the Yankees front office and actually like harm the Red Sox. Any other team, yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, I mean, I had the opportunity to do this and would have said yes, but I was just too much of a pussy at the time. But this is when Dan Duquette was with the Orioles, and I want to say this was like 2011 maybe. And I was just like, I would love the opportunity to get to work under you and learn from you and yada yada. But the catch was, all right, I have to move to Baltimore, one, and B, would need a second job. He's like, we're gonna pay you shit, but you're gonna like learn, like you're gonna learn, like you're gonna have to get a second job to be able to afford to live. Like I'm assuming you don't have a roommate option out here, so like you're gonna, yeah, it's gonna be like 15-hour days. Yeah, 15-hour days that you're gonna be working just to pay for the room that you're never gonna be in because you're always gonna be working just to survive. And I was like, yeah, so I think I'm gonna go back to college. And I did that the following year, 2012. I went back to school and got my degree. But yeah, I would have worked in the Orioles front office just to get the experience, even if though I wasn't going to get paid shit. But I would have done it. And that's in the division. I'm positioning you in another league.
Oh yeah, like I said, only the Yankees would I be an outright no. The Blue Jays come calling. I could get the Blue Jays humming for sure.
You're like Hunter Dobbins.
I met Hunter Dobbins. He was super nice.
Well, it's because you never fucked over his dad.
Yeah. He was super nice, though. Shout him out.
But yeah, Heim knows where to find me. My concern with Heim is he won't listen to me again.
Well, I think he probably learned from his mistakes.
Has my phone rang, Jerry?
Does he have your number?
It would be super easy for him to get it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So
that is true. Maybe he's waiting to take over though. Maybe like he doesn't want to waste your time until he takes over the Cardinals front office fully.
Maybe
John Mozeliak's salary will be yours, Coley.
Yeah, he does. Wouldn't you think he'd want me to like get my feet wet a little before we moved into our primary roles?
Do you really need your feet wet with your history?
You don't need your feet wet, yeah.
No, but I can understand like not wanting to just unleash me upon like a front office with like absolutely like just having no idea of like the day-to-day. Like I could understand being like, hey,
Craig Breslow got a job that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
You got to run the whole Red Sox front office.
People love how he's done too. That's what people say about it. They're
well,
like,
you're a good communicator and you're a people person though.
I feel like most people would disagree with several of those statements, but I think the number one thing on my resume is just like extreme ball knower.
All right. So be on the lookout for Coley getting a job with the St. Louis Cardinals. Would be a shame to lose you, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But I think like the only way for me to get the Red Sox job is to work underneath someone else in a different front office for a little bit. Like I know they won't out and out give it to me. The Rockies again should.
Could you imagine? Just like he never told us, and like one day in December, there's like the Colorado Rockies have named Coley Mick president of baseball operations. He's just like in Denver wearing a fucking suit. We're like, what the fuck?
I would not wear a suit. I absolutely would not wear a suit for the job.
You would wear like a T-shirt that has their like dinosaur mascot on it.
Oh yeah, Coley would rock all the vintage stuff, and it would look incredible.
The Todd Helton vintage jersey.
When Heim first showed up, he was rocking that like sick Mitchell & Ness sweater, that Red Sox sweater. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm
have
with
like a
the
Larry
team,
Walker, like Turner had the clock jersey or something.
Troy Tulowitzki.
Yeah.
The Rockies. The Rockies have too much heat. Me in a TS10 Rockies jersey.
The sleeveless, that'd be incredible.
Yeah.
Who was it? Duran that rocked it last year, right?
Yeah.
Probably. But no, the Rockies, like that, it would get them like a lot of headlines that they don't normally get.
Yeah, I could see it. I see the vision. I'll never forget Tyler Milliken telling Nick Sogard, I see the vision.
I do.
Talking about like Nick Sogard's career.
Respect Nick Sogard, please.
I'm not disrespecting it, but like I also see the vision, and it's kind of just like, yeah, he's like Nick Green.
Championship caliber utility player, Alex Gore.
Okay. Jake's takes.
I know things are bad right now, but if this team rattles off like 20, 25 in a row, I really think they're going to be all right. So let's just hang in there until that happens.
Speak
Spot
on
it.
Lie. Facts.
Speak
Quick
on
25.
it. Yep.
If they did do that, they'd lose 25 in a row after.
Yep. Tanner Houck's third rehab outing in AAA, 3 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. I'm just moving on with my life. I'm moving on with my life without Tanner Houck. He's just a distant memory at this point. We'll always have the first half of 2024.
Yeah, if I'm Walker Buehler, I'm a little pissed because T earlier was like, that's the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball. And that's only really because Tanner Houck doesn't have enough starts to qualify.
All right. We'll be back on Thursday morning, Wednesday night for us. All right. If you haven't already, check out the Jaron Duran interview on our YouTube page. Please subscribe. Thumbs up. It's worth the watch visually. And we're on Cameo. Keep the cameos rolling in. Yes, it's still okay to request Craig Breslow impersonations. I've already not cleared it with. I don't need permission. I'd let him know. I will be resuming Craig Breslow content moving forward. Cole, you had a thought?
Yeah, I was going to say, while you're watching Views Day, Steve, you throwing a rave over there?
I know. I just almost
I was just
died.
doing a thunderstorm. Yeah, no, it's all good.
While you're watching the Views, I'm making my 98.5 debut at 8 p.m.
Ooh,
Monday
okay.
night
Go.
with Jay's Stew.
Rockies.
So watch,
watch
Jerry. Yeah, that's what they want my first radio hit to be, 98.5. But no, I appreciate Jay's Stew reaching out. I've never been on 98.5. Yep. Yeah. Not the first final thought he's been a part of this season.
Oh
yeah, I'll be on there.
Fun. Yeah,
talking C's, talking Sox as well. So,
is it like a segment or is it like a whole show?
2 segments.
The McMahon Hour. I like that.
We'll see if I swear. I'm so nervous about swearing.
Well, Jimmy's quick with the dump button. Yeah.
Sure. I just don't want to. I want to see if I can do it.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy this series against the Reds. I hope you all survive the flash flood of 2025 on Tuesday. Prayers up for all those affected. Get to higher ground on Tuesday. God bless. And we'll see you then. Ba-doop, doop, doop.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Ooh, that was from the depths. That was crazy.
That was like Velociraptor.
That came up from your ass. That thing went all the way.
Yeah.
That was so weird to be a fart, and it was like, I guess we're burping.
Yeah. Little ass burp.
Ass burp. That's what the Titanic sounded like before it split in half.
That was the last.
That was the last thing 1,500 people heard. You're like, oh, fuck. I mean, that honestly probably was similar to what it sounded like. Because, I mean, there was definitely
burp.
some big ass burp. There was some cracking and some bubs going on for sure.
Massive bubs.
Yeah. Jake, put this at the end of the show.
Perfect.